disappointed in every one of you.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend you.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I kiss you on the mouth.
No, I'm not cool with that. I'm sorry.
One more time.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I mean, I'm dealing with degenerate animals.
I'm disappointed in every one of you. Disappointed in every one of you.
All right, come on.
Honestly, I can't do it no more.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
Let me tell you why.
It's gonna be all right, Nicky. Go ahead, shoot.
You just killed a fucking man.
What are you going to do about it?
You're happy because you got nothing. You don't got a thing. You're happy because you got nothing. You got nothing.
I want to get out. I want to get out of this rat hole. I want to get online. I need
BDA boxing.
Ooh, all right. Welcome everybody to the Boxing Podcast, broadcasting to you live from the True North. It's your good friend, Mr. BDA, and I'm glad. That's right, I'm glad that everybody could be on board for this one. Fellas, in this episode, we've got a fantastic one for you, as we're going to be talking about everything that's going on in the boxing world right now. A lot of complaining, a lot of shellacking, pay-per-views galore, by the way, a lot of pay-per-views coming up. I don't even know if people still pay for this stuff, but be that as it may, you'll find out soon enough that some of these cards should not be on pay-per-view. We're going to get people's thoughts on that. We got some more moving parts in this new Zuffa deal. We had a little boxing this past Saturday. We're going to have a little bit more boxing this coming Saturday. We got Shakur Stevenson continuing to complain. We got the lawyer making some interesting revelations. We got Teofimo Lopez versus Rolly Romero finally announced, and a whole bunch more. But before we get down to the fun, let's get the business out of the way, fellas. You know the drill. If you want to donate a couple of shekels our way, you're certainly welcome to do so via the Super Chat feature. You can also join the membership program. That way you get more bang for your buck. Discord, by the way, as well. Butcher just posted some off-the-air content on Discord for free. But you can join Discord for as much or as little as you want. It's up to you. And you can also donate via the Buy Me a Coffee app. Link in the description below. The most important thing, you know, is to continue to like, you subscribe, and you spread that BDA gospel. Let's give a big shout out to everybody in the chat. I'm talking about Parokua, Jaime Raiden, Johnny Durag, SJW, Earl Stevens. Shout out to Earl. Talking about Earl. Shout out to Earl. Grim Reaper. Recognize the Matrix in the house. Keeping an eye on things. Baron Evola. Urban Dance Legends. Dark Hey Dog. And one of the initiated. Two Matador. More BDC. Parokua. Rafael Garza. Another one of the initiated. Jay Will. Frankie Sanz. Another initiated. And Rampax Trucking Company. Another one of the initiated. He says 10-4. Shout out to Rampax Trucking Company and everybody out there for joining us, and everybody else who will continue to join us. Speaking of joining us, I see we got Chief, and we got Fu. That's the real Fu TV. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Oops, hold on a second. All right, now I can hear you. Couldn't hear you earlier. All right.
I'm here.
All right, shout out to Fu, shout out to Chief. And I got to tell you guys, real quick, I'm sharing the screen with you here. News and developments in the Middle East. We've got the Houthis from Yemen. That's a paramilitary group, right? I don't think it's the official.
Are you saying Hooters?
No, yeah, the Hooters and the Wingstops. Yeah, they're fighting each other now. So the Houthis ended up firing a bunch of missiles over at a Saudi Arabian airstrip. I don't know if it was a full-on airport or an airstrip, but now things are escalating once again in the Middle East. And the reason why I bring this up in this episode is because the Canelo versus Mbili fight, it's official, but the date isn't. So they were going to be holding it on Saudi Arabia. Initially, there was speculation that was going to take place on Independence Day weekend. That's Mexican Independence Day weekend. Then they said, no, it's going to be in October. And it's still listed as October. It just has TBE next to it, meaning they don't know the specific date. But now with this ongoing brouhaha over there in the Gulf, guys, I don't know if they're going to be holding any events in the near future over at Saudi Arabia. I mean, who's going to show up there?
They'll just build like a new arena that has like
lasers,
some kind of weapons mounted to the roof that shoots missiles out of the sky. That'd be cool.
Hey, you know what? Yeah, why not? You know, see, Food's always making lemonade out of lemons. That's the good mentality to have. Food. I commend you for that.
You gotta do. That's what you gotta do. I think they can make it happen.
Yeah, but this is.
Or they could do the events at an underground military base.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, yeah, because they hit the airport, the international airport. So it's like, who's gonna fly over there, right?
Exactly. Then you get stuck.
Like they just hit military, targets. It was like the
cool.
airport.
Where was it that a bunch of influencers got stuck earlier this year when the whole Iran, US, Israel? It was in Dubai. Yeah, it was Dubai. Okay, so it wasn't Saudi Arabia then.
Mm-hmm.
But it
it's UAE.
But it could easily happen in Saudi Arabia, right? That if they start bombing airports and you're stuck there, and they don't grow their own, so that if they don't grow their own food, that they rely on everything, they import pretty much everything.
No, water. No, the worst thing is not food or water. They destroy the desalination plants, water desalination plants. They fucking die of thirst. But.
There you go. So Saudi Arabia is in a bit of this whole Riyadh season thing. It's in a bit of a bind, man. I think they should just scrap the whole thing and just say, okay, we're not going to do it in Saudi Arabia. We'll hold it in Vegas, California, something.
New Jersey season.
New Jersey. They already have the World Cup final. They've got enough. Believe me.
We do it in the Barclays Center.
Why don't they do it in Detroit, fool, while you're at it, naming crappy cities and crappy states? No, I'm kidding.
Oh, come on.
No.
Brooklyn's
we love Detroit.
We love Detroit. We love the United States.
Yeah, Detroit, Chicago, LA, all these lovely places.
There you go.
They're good places. Good places.
Now,
there's good people.
Good places on both sides.
Speaking of the Sheik and the Turkey money, and
on both sides.
Speaking of the Sheik and the Turkey money and all that, I don't know. Maybe we'll get to the whole McGregor thing because I know it's combat sports related and everybody's talking about that. What happened this past Saturday over the UFC?
You mean Nick Raper?
What?
Sneak King.
Sneak? What are you talking about?
He sneaks up on ladies.
Oh, okay. Because
McGregor that game
McGregor
back in the day, the Sneak King.
Yeah. Because McGregor, people.
He looks sort of like him.
Yeah, I don't know if people are aware, but McGregor has been accused of certain things. Yes, indeed. Hold on, I'm trying to play this link here because now YouTube doesn't allow you. Twitter, excuse me, they don't allow you to play videos unless you're LinkedIn logged in, rather. Excuse me. So I'm trying to open up. I've forgotten about this bookmark link, save link. Not save link. What's All right. So you know what I'm gonna do, and I'm just gonna play the audio. I'm not gonna play the video. Don't really need to, and I'll translate because it's in Spanish. So they're asking De La Hoya because again, I don't know if people saw the weigh-in for the Conor McGregor Holloway fight. It was a ceremonial weigh-in, but anyway, they held the weigh-in, and who was there but Shakur Stevenson, Conor Benn, and Ryan Garcia? They were there. Let me show you there. And the fat, excuse me, I was gonna say Fat Dan because that's what people call him on the internet. We shouldn't do that. That's disrespectful, but.
It's endearment, a term of endearment.
In a lot of ways, you're right, Bucho. It is. But see here, Ryan Garcia, Shakur Stevenson, Conor Benn, looking like a bad guy from King of what was the name of that SNK game? King of Fighters, or what was it? Yeah.
I think it was that King of Fighters
game that every Mexican kid played.
There you go. Exactly. Well, that's what he looks like. Look at that.
I think it was Fatal Fury, wasn't it?
Well, that was one of them, I suppose.
Yeah, City of something, City of Wolves.
I mean, look at it. Look at his post and everything. Look at Conor Benn's post and everything. Like he's got one hand on the hip.
Yeah, they would have those suits, right? And then they'd punch the ground, and these little light beams of energy would come up.
Yeah, and then a Chinese
Are they
girl.
like dating or something? Why are they wearing the same outfit?
I don't know,
Why
man.
does Shakur look? Shakur always looks like somebody's proud girlfriend, like just so happy to be next to her man. if I don't find that picture right now where he's holding up that flag for Omaha for Crawford after he beat up Spence, he looks so proud. He looked just like this.
He's happy to be here, guys.
Yeah,
he's trying to make you know what? He's trying to make himself look smaller.
Yeah, there were a bunch of
he's bringing the shoulders like I'm just a little guy.
I'm small, guys. I'm small.
These two giants are like getting in between.
They're huge.
You know,
I think yeah, Food's the one who said that the last time we were making fun of that of him of Shakur Stevenson saying, "I'm just a little up and coming super featherweight, guys. Come on." And Food goes, "Imagine
little guy.
I'm just a featherweight.
Yeah,
like come on, bro.
I'm just a 21-year-old up and coming featherweight, guys. Come on, I'm a junior. He starts going lower. I'm just a junior featherweight. You know, it's hard being a super bantamweight fighting. As he just goes lower and lower.
BDA. I'm not even getting knockouts at 126. Come on, guys.
Exactly. Yeah.
You can see how intentional that is too, right? Shakur's bigger than Conor Benn. He stood next to him before he's taller. So they got him all the way back there looking all tiny.
Yeah, he's standing
he's
more.
Like hunched. He's hunched over. He's hunched, like he's not standing straight.
He's actually kneeling on his sneakers.
He's crouching.
His knees are on the ground.
He's bending the knees a little bit too. He's just every little trick to look smaller. And by the way, if you wear black, you do look slimmer as well. So he's trying to hide some of the bulk.
Yeah, he's trying to hide his fatness.
But
baggy shirt, baggy pants.
So Dan Rayfield said that they were going to announce the Conor Ben Ryan Garcia fight right then, and then at the last minute afterwards he said, well, what happened was some details needed to be ironed out, so they decided to shelve it for later. But be that as it may, guys, it looks like Conor Ben Ryan Garcia will be happening, and that's a Golden Boy fight, or Golden Boy fighter against a Zuffa guy. So yeah, he's showing. Yeah, look at this. Hold on.
I told you they would do it. There's nothing holding back.
Look.
Oh, fuck is this?
There were a bunch of people that they at that parade, like a lot of small people trying to make themselves bigger by like we won, what's going on here? You didn't do anything. But yeah, people love to suck off a little bit of that aura, a little bit. But what were you saying? You said that this was going to happen and there were going to be no obstacles for the Conor Ben fight versus Ryan Garcia.
Yeah, I said these guys are going to fight. Yeah, they have no problem doing business with Zuffa, and that's all mixed in with Dana White and Oscar.
Mm-hmm.
There's never been a problem there. That's why when Benavidez came out, he made up all that stuff about Zuffa. I said that's just his loyalty to the sanctioning bodies and PBC. But I mean, Zuffa's on the zone. Am I wrong?
I don't know. I don't think so. They're on.
I think you're right.
Yeah. But you know that PBC's already worked with Turk.
In which card?
Yeah. So why wouldn't they work with Zuffa? I mean, that guy owns like 50% of the company. I just mean the Benavidez fight. Like, I don't think Zuffa is really holding back anybody. They're just, if anything, they're making the fights happen. These guys just don't want to do business with them because their loyalties to the sanctioning bodies. Well, I think that's about it.
That's the thing.
Money's there.
That's the thing. People keep saying like, it's where people who sign with Zuffa don't want to fight anybody, and Zuffa already said they don't want to work with the sanctioning bodies. Like Dana White said back in February that they're open to fighting that their fighters can fight in non-Zuffa events. And as you can see here, this would be Ryan Garcia, pretty much a Golden Boy fighter still in a lot of ways, against the Zuffa fighter. So like Bray saying in the chat, that means Benavidez should have no issue making the fight versus Opetaya. That's the way it seems like to me.
None at all. Yep, exactly. There's no problem there when it comes to Zuffa. He can make that deal. And they're doing one-offs. You don't have to sign a contract with him. Ryan doesn't have a Zuffa contract, and he's fighting a Zuffa fighter. So Benavidez is just full of it. He's full of.
Well, that brings me to what De La Hoya said in a recent interview. He said this in an interview with Chava. I think it's Chava Boxing. The Chava ESPN, Salvador Rodriguez. That's the ESPN Espanol guy, I think. And they asked him about that, about working with Dana White. And this is what he said in Spanish, and I'm going to translate real time.
Fíjate que, obviamente, mira, si se trata de pelear o hacer algo que, no sé, me vaya a tirar un golpe, algo Dana White.
Okay, because they're asking, are you going to get into a fight with Dana White? He goes, of course not. Like, unless he hits me, unless he gets physical. Yeah.
No, esto es fácil, es como una mosca.
Then he goes, if we did get into a fight, it would be easy. He said, it would be nothing. He's like a fly. So he's calling him an insect, in other words.
No, para mí no es nada.
To me, he's nothing, he says.
Pero no, nos vamos a compartir muy bien. Yo creo que si él se porta bien, yo me voy a portar bien. Si él...
So yeah, he's saying I think we're gonna get along. He says, I hope we get along. If he behave like in Furiosa Fury Road, you behave, I'll behave. That's what they're going for there, and that's what the law is saying.
Se porta mal, pues yo me voy a portar.
And then he says, if he
he's a mess. He's a mess.
Who, the lawyer?
Like, he'll talk trash about these guys for months, and then when they come in with a little money, he's like, let's do business, guys. And then right after the deal, Uncle Fester, bitch. And we go back to that again.
Yeah, he does that with everybody. He does that with everybody. As soon as they scratch him a little bit, and you know the interesting thing about the lawyer is somebody will badmouth him a little bit, and he'll go from, like, somebody could say, hey, I think the lawyer is I think his voice is a little bit weird, a little squeaky.
Yeah.
He'll go from that to, somebody will say that, and he'll go to 100. He'll go, yeah, well, your father just died, or something like that. Like, he doesn't know how to control. He goes nuclear.
He goes all the way.
Right. Well, I don't think he's ever made fun of somebody's dead parent, but it's like, I'm failing to find a recent example, but he does go kind of overboard a little bit with the vendettas.
I mean, the guy went to court. He went against Zuffa in court. And now he's like, I want some of that Zuffa money. It's kind of hypocritical.
Well, this was the part that I found very interesting in another clip here. Check out what he has to say about how the fight came about and about the money.
Yo el año pasado, porque Ryan García obviamente demanda una gran bolsa, ¿no?
Claro.
Y las televisoras hoy en día no están pagando tanto dinero.
Interesting that right there. He goes that he was working, trying to get Garcia fight, and he goes, Ryan Garcia commands big purses. And right now, he says that TV networks aren't really doling out those big purses. Isn't that interesting? We heard that, right? We heard that when Golden Boy renegotiated with the Zone, there were rumors that the Zone was putting its foot down saying, hey, look, we need to make this Ennis versus Ortiz fight happen. There are other rumors also, recent rumors, that Eddie Hearn is trying to make Ennis versus Josh Kelly, and apparently the Zone isn't too interested in that fight. They won big fights, and I can't. We're gonna get to the Joshua fight later on, and how underwhelming that is, especially for a pay-per-view. So it seems like the Zone, okay, they're signing they're signing contracts with all these promotional outfits. Now they got PBC there. Now they got to make the fights happen. Like, there's no excuse now, guys, if they've got all these fighters under that umbrella. What are the excuses going to be if these fights don't happen? Why they couldn't get these promoters they couldn't make them get along?
Well, no one could ever make them get along. The situation was before, back in the day, going all the way back to the 90s, was Showtime and HBO, and the promoters could blame the network. So I understand your point now. They don't have the network to blame anymore. So the blame, if fights don't get made, it's somewhere between the fighters and the promoters now, because the network owns them both. Or not owns, but distributes the rights for licensing of everyone. So there's not, back in the day when I used to talk about Floyd Didn't Duck, Casimir, and Freitas, there was a network confliction. There's not a network confliction anymore. So now it comes down to, can the promoters live up to their self-hype? I'm the greatest promoter. Great, make it happen.
Exactly.
Offer a deal. Do some negotiating. Make a concession somewhere along the way to please the other guy, to get him in the ring for your fighter, to expose him as good or as bad as he really is. We won't find out till they get in the ring. Make it happen. You can't blame the network anymore.
You know what I fear is going to happen? I fear that they're going to start playing games and they're going to start blaming each other about why the fight's going to happen. Well, it's his, they're going to start doing these preemptive strikes on the internet where, oh, this guy didn't want the fight, so we're moving on. So right off the bat, they blame the other person, the other side. And I think that's what they're going to do. We'll see if the Zone puts their foot down and says, hey, stop screwing around. We're not in this right now. This isn't the way to go right now. We're in danger here. The sport is really dwindling. You guys got to get together and make the fights happen. Real quick, before we continue, shout out to Miso Dionysius. Says Navarrete versus Shock, that's Oshaki Foster, is in negotiations. Yeah, Coppinger and somebody else reported that. Baron Nivola says, yeah, right, that's never going to happen, Opet versus Opetaya, unless it's in a phone booth. Snackford says Opetaya is a bomb basher. Blunt Effect says Opetaya is a B-level scrub. King KO says Dokavidis scared of Jai, fucking coward. Well, there you go. Different types of outputs there. Dark Dog says Lo dice como una fresa. Okay, so he says De Loya sounds like a bit of a fruit, you get a bit of an accent there. Morbid Disease says Shakur is a duck. Ryan Garcia. No, he says Shakur is ducking Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney. Adam Hurley says Shakur is the only one that thinks Ryan can beat him, but it's true. Matador says Shakira ducking Rayo. I mean, come on. I don't think anybody really is interested in seeing Shakur Simmons versus Rayo Valenzuela. So, yeah, let me just keep playing here what De Loya said here.
Y cuando se meten los turquis y quieren comprar las peleas, pues tienes que hacer lo mejor para el peleador. Tienes que negociar para el peleador y recibir esas cantidades de dinero de los turquis. Así que yo firmé un contrato de 2 peleas.
All right, pause and translate, man.
So he's saying that when the Turkey, I don't know why he's saying Turkeys in plural. It's the Turkey Al-Sheikh, isn't that his first name? I mean, his surname.
Yeah.
So anyway, he's saying turkeys come in with a lot of money, and you got to make.
What did he do to turkeys?
Excuse me?
What did he do to turkeys?
No. Wait, he says when the turkeys come along, and they come in with the big bucks, you gotta do you pretty much gotta do what they want. Hold on, what did he say? Cantidades de dinero, así que yo firmé. So he says, yeah, I signed a contract. I think he says 2-fight contract. And that's essentially, I think Biebs was saying that, Joe Habib from Ringside Reporter, he was getting into it with people on Twitter. And because they were saying, no, this Conor Benn fight versus Ryan Garcia fight is not going to happen because De La Hoya promotes Ryan Garcia, and he's not going to allow, if he doesn't want the fight to happen, it won't happen. And Biebs was saying, well, hold on, Ryan Garcia signed, he was loaned out in some way to Turkey Al-Sheikh to make those fights. And by the way, what Ryan Garcia has with De La Hoya is a co-promotional deal. So yes, De La Hoya has some stake in it. He's going to get a percentage of it. But even if he was his full-on promoter, I don't think he can say, hey, no, don't fight this guy. I don't think he can put the kibosh on that because he's supposed to do what's better for his fighter. So if Ryan Garcia is going to get a lot of money fighting Conor Benn from the Turks, then yeah, well, I mean, it makes sense.
Well, the plan, I think I told you this, the plan is to beat this guy and then fight Shakur, I think.
Well, before we go on, let me read a super chat here. Let me read a super chat here real quick, and then I think Chief wanted to say something, but shout out to Theological Handyman. Shout out to Theological Handyman who says, for some reason, I cannot consider Shakur pound for pound. Well, I mean, look, people have their own, criteria. Some people's criterion is, it's the eye test. That's how I judge pound for pound. But look, for me and for a lot of people, that's the way it's been for decades. Pound for pound is about accomplishments. So whether you find Shakur Stevenson boring or dislikable outside the ring, the guy's managed to build quite a good resume, and so I do think he's pound for pound. Now, where you want to put him, that's up to you. But I would have him in the top 10. But going back here, so shout out to Theological Handyman. Anybody want to comment on that before we continue talking about the Turkey Al-Sheikh and what De La Hoya said?
Well, first of all, pound for pound is supposed to be the comparison of what a non-heavyweight could do if skill-wise for the lack of natural attributes of a heavyweight.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it was all started for begin with. Whether it was for Sugar Ray Robinson or Benny Leonard when it first started, that argument remains to be. But it's because those two lighter weight guys were so much more dynamic and all-around skill than they were compared to Jack Dempsey and Joe Louis. And that's where it comes from. So it's not just your resume. It is the eye test, but it's the eye test of what you're able to do against top competition, not handpicked opposition, vacant titles, and things of that nature. Those didn't exist back in those days. There was 8 champions in boxing at one time during those two eras. There was only 8, not 68 like there are today. So about pound, there's that point about that. I was going to say, you made a comment earlier about De La Hoya's job is to make the most money for his fighter. That's not necessarily true as per what a promoter's actually supposed to be. A promoter's supposed to make the most money off of the event possible.
Right.
De La Hoya is not Ortiz's manager. He's his promoter. his job is to make most money off of the entire event. Ortiz's manager, which is not supposed to be Oscar because Oscar's his promoter, is supposed to advocate for the most money possible for Ortiz.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the Ali Act. Is that the promoter's not supposed to fill both roles.
That's right. So, because that's a very good distinction right there in regards to the role of a promoter. My point still stands a little bit because the promoter, like you said, the promoter wants to make a lot of money. So he would be getting, in essence, LA would be getting a lot of money from Turkey Al Sheikh for that fight, whereas the zone probably couldn't be able to match that by themselves.
Point taken.
Right. No, but still, this is what I wanted to get to, though, Chief. This is a problem. The fact that to make this fight happen, they need Turkey's checkbook. I mean, look, Ryan Garcia might be a big name. He has a big following on the internet, but he's not the numbers by themselves don't tell the story in terms of money, about revenue, about how much revenue his fights actually generate. He's not that big a star. He's a star compared to fucking Virgil Ortiz or Abdullah Mason, but does he really? I don't know how much he's going to get paid for this Conor Benn fight, but should he be demanding this much money where some of his events we don't really even know if they're being that successful?
Well, what's he demanding? Because I haven't been following the Twitter queens.
Well, that's the thing. Okay, De La Hoya just said in that Spanish interview, he goes, Ryan Garcia commands the type of purses that the networks right now aren't willing to dole out. And I'm thinking, how much money is he asking for if he's not really that big a star? He's no De La Hoya in the 90s. We know that. He's not even a Canelo at this point.
Well, they're very right now. From what I've been looking up, the only one that's De La Hoya money right now, not to say he's that entertaining or anything else, is Devin Haney because he's got 8 figures for his each for his last 2 fights. Oscar was an 8-figure fighter back in the 90s. Pretty much ever since he fought Chavez, he was an 8-figure fighter.
There's 2 A-sides right now, Chief. It's Joshua and Canelo still, and maybe yeah.
And I get. Based off of Google AI, which I don't fully trust, Haney's got to be in there somewhere if he's making 8 figures a fight in his last 2 fights. Because who else is making 8 figures a fight outside of Joshua and Canelo?
But that's the problem. I'm talking about how much revenue they actually generate in views. Like Devin Haney, there's a reason why he hasn't fought since November. He's looking to get paid a lot. And right now, nobody wants to touch him. None of the zone doesn't want to touch him because he's asking. This is what Eddie Hearn said. The Haneys are asking for a lot of money for fights that aren't going to give us the return we want. Like you said, the promoter wants to make money. They're not going to make money off of Haney. If you're promoting a Canelo fight, a Joshua fight, you know you're going to make money. With Haney and Ryan Garcia, with the money that they're asking for, these promoters are going. They're working at the numbers and they're going. It doesn't work out here.
And if Turkey's not running to save the day every time, he's finally getting to the point to what I said several months to a couple years ago. Eventually, he's going to want to turn a profit, and he's not just going to sign people and just to blow money. So if he doesn't want to jump in and try and save the day to make these Haney fights after Haney's gotten 8 figures of 2 fights in a row on fights that did not return, like what Dana White says, we're giving him big money, but we're not getting the money back in return. We're not getting an equitable share in this because the promoters also have to take that money, reinvest in their company to make more fights down the road. Mm-hmm. If Haney's walking away with 8 figures and they're walking away with 7 and not high 7, how is this going to keep going? It's a sinking ship. So if Turkey's not jumping to write the checks anymore like he was when he first started, he wants a return also. And it's like I said before, he can go ahead and write all these checks all he wants to. Eventually, he's going to want to make money. And when he starts to want to make money, these guys aren't going to get everything they want. And here we are.
Exactly. And then on top of that, you add what I said in the beginning of the show with the renewed conflict over there in the Gulf with Saudi Arabia and the Saudi Arabian airport who's going to go down there for tourism? Hey, let me go watch a fight and maybe get a missile up my keister while I'm at it. No, nobody's going to want that. I tell you what people want to do, like
Crawford might want that.
Well, yeah, you never know, man. Somebody said, somebody had mentioned it. It's gone now. But, I was going to say, if you want to go fight somewhere and you want to you have to earn it, it's like the Gold Coast.
The Gold Coast Convention Center.
That's really, I mean, it's not that big, but only a few make it there.
Ringside, Gold Coast Convention Center.
By the way, Theological Handyman, shout out to Theological Handyman for another contribution with the Super Chat. And he says, imagine if a guy like Benavidez could get a hold of Shakur. Okay, now you're talking. I mean, yeah, that would be That would be a bad style for Shakur Stevenson. And it's interesting. A lot of people now on Twitter are posting about how his defense isn't all that good. And look, the defense he showed against De Los Santos and against Nakatila, and to a certain extent even against Teofimo Lopez, it's not that refined. It's just jumping back. But when you watch him against Cepeda and against Hartunonian, that's when you can actually see it more, that he actually does have good defense. He's actually able to slip and roll with a lot of punches. But yeah, it's interesting how on Twitter, people are really turning on the guy. It took a while, but now they're turning on him, and we're going to cover that later. But as going back to the whole De La Hoya and Turkey Al Sheikh thing, yeah, it's interesting, man, because now we're seeing these Zuffa fights starting to materialize, Zuffa with other promoters, and it's still worrisome, though, as we were talking about how they're still dependent on Turkey Al Sheikh. They need that money, and these guys like Haney, Shakur Stevenson, Ryan Garcia, they're asking for a lot of money, but what are they actually bringing to the table other than this fake inflated sense of box office appeal that they don't really have? It's weird. We're in a weird state right now in boxing where a lot of these guys, we know the name, but nobody's really paying to watch them fight. And I mean, think about this. Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez, what were the pay-per-view numbers for that one? They never really said it, did they? The Zone doesn't really...
What platform was that on?
That was on The Zone.
Okay, so here goes back to DAZN. Because I don't have DAZN. So DAZN is a monthly subscription platform. Do you have to pay extra for bigger fights?
Now you do, yeah.
Okay. So that helps me figure out what you mean by how to trace the numbers. Because obviously, if it's just a monthly subscription, you have no idea what's going on, except for in the case of what people used to say about Ryan is when Ryan would fight, they would jump like 100, 200,000 subscriptions just to see Ryan fight. And then, of course, people would probably just let it lapse and go away. Allegedly, that's what they were saying. This is back well before the Haney fight.
Mm-hmm.
So now this one is, you can have DAZN, but if you wanted to see that particular fight, you still have to buy that one separately. Now you got a money trail. And I don't believe it did well, but no, the reason why they don't print the numbers is so that people, they can hide behind, oh, this is the biggest guy out. This is a big fight. They try to brainwash you into this. You've got to get this fight. It's a promoter's job to convince people they want to see something they don't want to see if they're stuck with it. But there's usually something that, kind of wets the whistle of like, hey, I really do want to see that. But most of us pretty much knew the fact that Teofimo Lopez wants you to come to him. If he makes you go to him, it's outside of his game plan. He has no game plan of what to do because he relies on reflexes and instinct out of the counterpunch.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's finding a puncher who's going to make him come out of his game plan. He's going to lose, and he's going to not even put up much of a fight. That's his MO. That's what happens, and that's what happened. Most
Absolutely.
of us knew that.
And it was...
There's no use in the outcome to.
And it wasn't fun. It wasn't entertaining. It was something that a lot of people expected, and that's why nobody really wanted to watch that. And so now Shakur Stevenson has to go with Zuffa because they're the ones that are willing to scoop up all these fighters to sort of try to show up, or what's the word I'm looking for here? Like make the other promotional entities look bad. Like, hey, look at how many guys we're signing. Which brings me to the fact that Shakur Stevenson earlier this week got into it with what's his name? Sharpie Cannon, or what's it? Some football player. They got into it. Shannon Sharpie, that's the guy. Anyway, Shannon Sharpie or Sharp. I don't know how you pronounce his name.
You mean Shay?
Apparently, yeah, that's the guy. And that dude, by the way, he wasn't articulating the point properly. He had a point, he just didn't articulate it properly. But
he's not good at that.
So Shakur Stevenson really got pissed off, and a lot of people started seeing that bad side of Shakur Stevenson because Bucho made a video a while back about how it's called Why People Dislike Shakur Stevenson. I think that's what it's called. But essentially, that's the gist of the video because people look at Shakur Stevenson and they see people criticizing him and they go, wow, why do people criticize him? Oh, they must be racist because that's how it is for half the population out there. But no, the video breaks down why he's so disliked. The guy is a man-child. He won't stop throwing tantrums. He'll make up scenarios in his mind where everyone's against him. The man can do no wrong. He's starting to look like a textbook narcissist. Check out this video.
He's the new Floyd Mayweather. It's the same exact model, right?
In everyone's
racist.
Right out of
going on
my
the
mouth.
sandbox thing.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to say that exact same thing, but please finish, sir.
No, I was going to say in a lot of ways he is, and I found this interview from Eddie Hearn. This is from 2024. I believe this was before he got his hands on Stevenson. So check out what he had to say about Stevenson, because people forget. I'd forgotten. Stevenson had actually announced his retirement at some point. I don't know if you guys remember that. I think we talked about it on the show when that at the moment it happened. And check out what Adrian Hearn had to say.
A few days ago, a shocking announcement. Shakur Stevenson.
Don't wait. That's fucking. It's ridiculous. Like, I don't even know why we give this kind of stuff airtime. Like Shakur Stevenson, one of the best pound for pound fighters on the planet. He's so fucking boring. How old is the guy? 27, 26, I don't know. 26. 26. Of course he's not retiring. Just say to him, all right, mate, bye. Come back to us when you've finished your tantrum. You know, what Shakur Stevenson should be doing is actually getting off Twitter. Because I rate him, as I said, as one of the top fighters in the world. But he's so, like, all this stuff. You know, Ryan Garcia, I'm fighting Devin. I'm fighting Rowley. I'm fighting this, I'm fighting that. And then the fans are like, what is going on?
So 2 years later, we're still in the same conundrum. Oh, I'm going to fight this guy. No, I'm going to fight that guy. No, and nobody fights each other. But it's interesting. He said Shakur Stevenson should get off the internet. I don't think he should get off the internet necessarily. I think he should just stop whining. He's too much of a whiner. He's too complaining every time. Look, he's very adamant, and we have the clips where he says, I'm not gonna risk my health, like Mayweather. I'm not gonna risk my health. Who's gonna take care of me when I retire? And if I have something wrong with me, who's gonna take care of me? Nobody cares about me, and so I'm gonna fight the way I fight. One guy told him, remember that famous clip where the guy tells him, "Hey, listen, homeboy, if you fight Tank the way you fought De Los Santos, you ain't getting those rounds, homie." And then Shakur Stevens like, I don't know who made you like the boxing god, but I'm going to fight the way I fight. So he's telling you he's going to fight the way he fights. So the boxing fanatics, they're saying, okay, you fight the way you want to fight. We're not going to watch you. And guess what? We're going to keep referencing and calling out the fact that your fights are uneventful, pretty much boring. So, yeah, I don't think Shakur Stevenson should necessarily get off the internet, but he should accept the reality that if he wants to fight the way he fights, then the people are going to voice their opinion, and on top of that, they're going to act with their pocket or like they're off, and they're not going to buy his fights, and they're not going to go watch his fights.
So I disagree. I think he should get off the internet and have someone be on the internet for him. He doesn't know how to advertise himself, capitalize on situations, and say the right things that are going to either provoke the right people or gather people around him through charisma, because he has none. So he needs somebody to do that for him. He can't do it, and his thumbs aren't smart enough. So moving from there, you go to the fact that he does throw these little tantrums, and Roy Jones did the same thing. People forget how unlikable and how little Roy Jones would sell, because he would do the same thing. I'm going to fight who I want to fight, how I want to fight him. He said these same things. Now, Floyd made it more famous. Roy did it first. Everything Floyd's done throughout his career, he got from the Roy Jones playbook. And back when Steve Kim was on, he used to say this, talk about this stuff. Remember when he talked about in the 90s how there was a thing called the Roycott?
Right.
It was on the internet, CBS Sportsline, ESPN Sportsline, the chat rooms back then. People were saying, we're doing a Roycott. We're not going to watch Roy Jones until he fights someone real. And we knew that real person was Darius Michalczewski, or he needs to challenge himself with someone like Joe Calzaghe. He needs to do something other than just these hand-picked opponents, like making middleweights move up for light heavyweight fights, which is what he was doing. Now, Shakur is almost in the same boat. He's more talented than the people around him in many different areas. The people that have been in front of him so far haven't really been able to challenge him. But because he is basically like Floyd, afraid of what will happen if he puts it all out there, he doesn't want to risk it. That's fine. That is your right. I'm not going to say anything against that. However, don't expect us to support your living. You are in a independent contract living to where you are paid based off of what you bring in. And except for when people write these exorbitant checks, then once those checks stop, you have to start bringing money in. And if you can't do that, you have to live with the fact that you chose this avenue for a living, and it's not our job to give you welfare checks.
Chief, was Roy Jones more active than Shakur Stevenson?
In the ring? At times.
Yeah, like per year? Or
per year? He was about a 2-time-a-year fighter, if memory serves. I'd have to look it back up, but once he got to light heavyweight, he wasn't fighting that often. He's fighting about twice a year.
All right.
At least Roy Jones would
I-
would score the occasional knockdown, knockout. I mean, this dude is on another level of just not trying.
Right, he was flashy. I mean, at some point, I remember, in the light heavyweight division, with that HBO contract, he wasn't really fighting anybody, but he was still, he was still number one pound for pound, according to a lot of people.
It was
he
between
was
him and De La Hoya.
certainly impressing. Yeah, but I remember Roy Jones was still, wasn't he at the top at some point?
Yeah,
He was the top.
2001,
He was the top.
2002.
He was an entertainer.
Before he lost.
That's for sure, right?
He was an
He used to
entertainer.
try to
Which, I
entertain
mean,
people, yeah.
I think a lot of us, like Chief said, we criticized Roy Jones at some point because he wasn't fighting the best, but he was at least like a showman, like Food TV said.
In some
So
way. He
because
went
of
for it.
Shakur,
He-
I mean,
he went
he's
to
not
take guys
giving us
out.
anything.
Yeah, he's
Exactly. Maybe they wanted to, but Shakur, I mean, come on, you're telling me he couldn't have done a little bit more against Teofimo Lopez?
Well, he admitted he could have.
He
He
wasn't
just
really
didn't
doing
want
that
to.
much,
I mean, when you put him in the ring versus good fighters, he basically he's not good for boxing. That's really what it is. He can take a great fighter and just run around the whole time, make any fight terrible, right? Versus anyone.
But you're saying against great fighters, when he fights great fighters, okay, I'll throw you this one, guys. If he fights, let's say, Matias, do you guys think he's going to put on a great performance?
No, he'll run the whole fight.
He'll
make it really.
I think Matias could manage to do what Cepeda did, which is to corner him, pin him on the ropes. Because again, a lot of people, when they look at that Shakur Stevenson Cepeda fight, they gave credit to Shakur Stevenson as opposed to Cepeda. Remember, before the fight, everyone was saying he was going to whoop Cepeda, it was going to be easy. Then when he wasn't easy,
The
it's
belt
like,
to ass.
yeah, the belt. And then when he wasn't easy, it's because Shakur Stevenson chose to make it difficult. It's like, so that's how they think. They think he's so in control that he decided, not like they didn't give Cepeda any credit. So I think Matias, a prime Matias anyway, could have potentially done that. And yeah, I do think that fight could be a little bit more aesthetically pleasing than the Lopez fight.
And he's not he's not a great fighter. He's a contender.
Right.
So
And
where
he would still manage to make this guy run? Like, Roy Jones wouldn't be running from a guy like that.
That's a good point. Roy excelled. Jones
Roy
excelled.
was
Well,
running
That's what I'm saying.
they're,
Just
they're not the
next
same
level.
fighter. So to try and to make that comparison, I'm talking about drawing power when I was saying that, not their styles. So Roy was never. You have a great point there. That's not how he fought anyway. And against Cepeda, what I see something, or not Cepeda, Matias, what I see is the fact that Shakur for a while might look quote unquote good for a while, keeping Matias in that shell from just throwing the punches until Matias actually catches him with something. And that's when Foo's right. He starts to go on his bicycle for the rest of the fight, even if it's as early as the second round. I can see Shakur coming out busy at first because Matias is just going to be there with a high guard. Okay, I'm taking advantage of it. Could be up to 4 rounds of that. Once one opening comes in that Matias catches and it blacks his eye, busts his lip, or makes his nose bleed, on the bicycle the rest of the fight, and it'll be a majority of that fight, and it'll end up stinking the place out.
Yeah,
that's how I see it.
It's not. He's not good for boxing. That's why I said,
He's
like,
not
why
good
give
for
him?
boxing.
Why give him all that
That's my
money?
point.
That's
he's terrible.
That's what I'm trying to say. Old complicated in a way. He's not entertaining. He's not.
Yeah.
Roy Jones. Yeah, we can criticize Roy Jones, and I agree with the criticism.
Yeah.
But at least he was trying. He was putting on a show, putting his hands behind his back. I remember I was in high school, and some people, casuals, were saying like, "Oh, did you see the Roy Jones fight? He put his hands behind his." Yeah, and then I told him. Well, I didn't tell him. But I knew he was fighting a police officer or something, right? But still, like, he would do that shit. But when it comes to Shakur, there's no showmanship. There's nothing entertaining at all. It's just boring.
It doesn't make sense because look, boxing's in a rebuilding stage right now. So the worst thing you want is a guy like a Shakur. He's just going to be pushing fans away. They can do all they want with advertising, put video games out, and try to bring boxing back into the culture for the younger people. But once they see that guy, they're like, "Well, bro, I'm just going to go watch a UFC or bare knuckles fighting or something. This is terrible."
The silver line
detrimental to boxing. It hurts boxing. It actually hurts boxing. These people don't understand. Oh, if you don't like it, you don't watch it. But this is the image that boxing is getting now. Shakur, who's the best guy in boxing? Oh, it's Shakur. Oh yeah, let me watch one of his fights. Fucking.
Did you ever see that interview? Shakur was actually in an interview like a year or two ago where they asked him, "What would you?" This was after Ryan beat the crap out of Devin Haney, and they asked. Devin Haney, not Haney, Shakur, what would he do if he fought Ryan? And he says, sometimes you just got to say, fuck the fans.
Right.
Like he said, basically he's going to run around the ring. He said he was just going to run away the whole fight.
Well, he's also the guy who said that he wouldn't go and close the show in the final round, even if he's winning a fight, because he says that would be stupid. Meanwhile, look at Jaron Ennis. I mentioned this in one of the earlier episodes that when he got hurt by Zayas, he could have ran, he could have clinched, he could have gotten his wherewithal back. He didn't. He would start fighting back and look what happened. So look at the buzz that David Benavidez created after he beat Cepeda, or Ramirez, or the buzz that Ennis created after he beat Zayas. Even though those guys were the favorites, the fact of how they dismantled their opposition is what created this special buzz that, for us, as much as you can pretend like, I like the sweet science and I like about the defense, I'm a purist. You look at what Shakur Stevenson did against Lopez, and then look at what those other two guys that I mentioned, the aforementioned guys, the buzz they created. It's you cannot compare it. It's uncomparable. It's stopping a guy is what impresses people, and that's just what it is. Now, I will say this: the silver lining for Shakur Stevenson is to keep fighting the best. We don't want to see him fight Rayo. We don't want to see him fight guys that he's a 7-1 or at the minimum, favorite over. He needs to fight the Devin Haney's. He needs to fight the Richardson Hitchens, or not Richardson Hitchens, Keyshawn Davis. Guys that when you go in there, you go, okay, I can see how this guy is going to give him a lot of problems. But fighting, like I said, a guy like Rayo, Isa Cruz, we need to see him in there against some guys who have flash, who have power, something. And that's a silver lining for him. Otherwise, put him on the undercards. Because let me tell you something, putting this guy as a major attraction, marquee, main event against upper opposition, it's not going to look good. Not going to look good at all.
And he's not a main event fighter. I mean, it's been the message has been sent to him. Like he's been on these cards where he was like the co-main event. Mm-hmm. So I think he understands. He may not like it, but I think he's starting to understand where he's at.
He should be the first fight on the card. Push him to the very
on televised undercard.
On televised all day. Don't even televise this guy.
That's what I was.
You want to run and tap? Don't even put you on the pay-per-view.
What I would do is when he fights a fighter like De Los Santos, I will make sure the judges score the fight properly. I'm like, I want you to score that fight properly. Mm-hmm. That guy's not trying to fight, therefore he lost.
You know you can make 8-10 rounds in boxing without a knockdown.
Sure.
If you watch that De Los Santos fight, there's no fight I think in recent history that should have 10-8 rounds without a knockdown than those fights. That fight.
Yeah, a couple
because the guy's literally running the whole round. That's a 10-8 all day. For Shakur should have lost that fight. Well, that guy's on his bike. He's not doing anything. Like, why are they even paying this guy?
The one thing
just call it DQ.
The one thing
mentality. Go ahead, media. I'll count it out in a second. Go ahead.
I was gonna segue something else. So go ahead, please.
So I understand what Fu's saying, and there is a possibility to do something like that, but it usually comes from dominating through through violence, not just following the guy around and the other guy running. So I understand exactly what you're saying, and I respect it. But the reason why it's not going to be scored like that, and rightfully so, is you have to really do physical damage to the person without the knockdown, but still beat them up. And with him running so much, you can't do that. And so even though
that's what I mean, like he's running so much that there's no fight, and it's all because of him that there's not a boxing.
And I think what should happen then is, instead of talking about the judges, is the referee should take points away, which would cause a 10-8 round still. So there's parts of what you're saying that I'm agreeing with. I just think it needs to be handled the right way. It needs to be done officially.
There's gonna be a time where his connection to Jay Prince is not gonna help him get political points, and he's gonna go in there and he's gonna fight a guy. He's gonna fight like that, and he's gonna lose the fight. This is why he's afraid of fighting Devin Haney.
Oh, well, there you go. More to say on that if indeed that fight happens. Now, I will say this: one thing that I'm looking forward to, I must admit, in regards to Stevenson's debut on Zuffa, how far is Kellerman gonna be sticking it down his throat? That's why, is he gonna take it all plus the balls? That's what I want to know, because this guy, he loves that type of style. Now it's interesting because apparently Dr. JR showed us this look at this. This is when Shakur Stevenson got signed. But look at that. That's Max Kellerman trying to mix himself in there, morph himself in with Shakur Stevenson. That is disturbing, and I gotta tell you, I think that's one of Kellerman's fantasies right there. Trying to mix in that DNA.
That's the kid they had. They did that weird DNA thing that they're doing with the the LGBTQ kind of thing.
I mean, that's I need to speculate, but
in the LTBC lab,
you'll see this on the
now listen to this. This
will be on the second Renaissance soon.
This was Shakur Stevenson. He did an interview as after he signed, or the day he signed, I think. He did the rounds. He did the interviews all over the place, I think, and he really dressed up for the part. Look at that, with the wife beater. I think I see some mustard stains on it. And anyway, check out what he had to say.
For the matter is, Keyshawn Davis became their mandatory, and when Keyshawn became their mandatory, to get out of the Keyshawn situation, they started hollering Shakur, 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 because they know that if they lose, they would rather lose for the most money as possible. It's a business, so I understand everything that's going on. At with me, I'm cool with it. I'm all good with it, long as you get out of Keyshawn's way, because Keyshawn is my brother. I got love for Keyshawn. I'm not going to step on his toes after he cornered Devin in. That's what we got to make sure we paid attention to. He's cornered. He has nowhere to go. So I'm not going to step on his toes. But once he released that belt, then I'm done stepping on Keyshawn's toes. Now it's me and Devin, and we can.
He's talking about. See, this is a thing. This is why people are disliking him, because he's talking about coordinating all of this.
He's a sucker, bro. That's a sucker move. Listen, this dude. I hope people are paying attention. Like, this dude is a fraud. He's a total fraud.
I heard Keyshawn beat him up. In training camp.
Let me finish my point.
That's a big statement. Big statement.
He's a fraud in every sense. He's telling you that basically he ain't saying it like that because he's not that stupid. He's stupid, but he's not that dumb. He's telling you they sick Keyshawn on him. He's telling you that. So he could dump the belt. So when he dumps the belt, I have leverage over him. So that way we could schedule a fight for 144, yada, yada, yada. Okay?
Yeah. They don't have a 44 in Zuffa.
Challenge myself and see if I can win at 147 pounds and fight Devin Haney. Because, the boxing world keeps talking about this fight. Why not just go up to 147 and fight him? Now, suddenly, he's too small for these fights. He's too small. Okay? And this is the pound-for-pound legendary fighter, right? Saying that, I'm too small. Like with that little man's voice that he had.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's weird. It's weird.
Steroids,
and he's 30, and he still sounds like he's a 10-year-old.
Yeah. He's a total fraud. He doesn't want no smoke with Haney. He's a bullshit liar. When I say he don't want no smoke with Haney, what I mean is a fair political stance, 50-50, go ahead and win that fight. He won't do it. He will not do it. He wants Keyshawn to fight him or make him get stripped for the belt, one or two, and see how it all plays out before he even thinks about fighting Devin Haney.
Now, I will say this, man, because then somebody tagged that video and said, it's crazy that he has to say this for people to comprehend what's been going on the whole entire time. A lot of you motherfuckers really slow as molasses. In simplest form, this whole situation has always been about risk/reward. Now, I forget the specific details, but I remember Jimmy broke it down, because remember the Devin Haney, the Haneys, they painted this story, this narrative that, we offered Stevenson this and he didn't want it. And so a lot of Haney fans now, they ran with that for years about how supposedly Shakur Stevenson ducked that fight. But then the way Jimmy had explained it to me made sense that night. It was just the Haneys up to their usual shtick. But now Stevenson, it seems, is up to some of his own form of shtick and hijinks, and people aren't taking too kindly to it. And couple that with everything we've said about Stevenson, because again, look, it's two different things. He's a heck of a defensive fighter. There's no doubt about it. He's going to be difficult to beat. But now you're talking about why people dislike him, and that's a whole different thing. And that could also impact his bottom line, his box office appeal, his Q rating, if you will. And so, yeah, and a lot of people this past week have woken up about how Shakur Stevenson, little by little, is starting to happen. And I don't understand why it doesn't happen for other guys, or why some people are so slow to come about realizing this. But it's so much is stacking for Shakur Stevenson that it ain't looking good. Now, so he was going at it with Sharon Sharpie. And then to add insult to injury, this past weekend he was over there at that UFC event, and I think most people already saw this, but let me just pull it up on here for you. They put him up. They put it on. They put him up on the big screen here during the UFC event, and let me see if I can make this bigger here. There you go. You see what it says there? Jalen Williams. I don't know who Jalen Williams is, but that's not.
Who's that?
So the producers didn't even know
that. Is that a football player or something?
Yes, it's a football player. But the bottom line is,
it says NBA champion.
Yeah. Well, the bottom line is the producers didn't even recognize it.
I mean, what is this?
That's the bottom line of that.
He is on. Look, this guy is a 4-weight belt holder, right? And he still got 4 different weight class belt holder, and he still doesn't have recognition.
He's American. They claim he's top 3 pound for pound.
Supposedly he's top 3 pounds per pound, right?
Wasn't he a silver medal?
The guy
silver medalist.
Boring. He is. What Food TV said earlier. He is bad for boxing. You know how you know that? They don't even know who he is. They don't even know who this guy is.
Yeah, he detracts people from the sport.
Yeah.
Anytime they put on boxing and they have told this guy's the best to ever do it, he's the best of this generation, then they go and they see him like, what is this? What is this trash? I ain't watching this anymore.
Let me ask you a question. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Frank. Frank K. Jumping in.
Hey, yo, if he was knocking people out, would that change everything? Like, let's say he had like
of course,
highlight reel knockouts.
Who do you think was better for boxing, Deontay Wilder or Shakur Stevenson?
Deontay Wilder.
Wilder all day. And he didn't have any of these supposed boxing skills, right? He would just lay guys out. He was also interesting looking, right? He had these little, cheesy ring entrances. There was something there to it, He's kind of and there's some entertainment value.
Some flamboyance.
I mean, he did it in you could tell he imitated Mike Tyson because he wear like the black. A lot of times he wear all black, right? Black trunks, black gloves. He just knew the business better. He was a showman. So he also had more balls than this guy, right? He fought guys that he knew were going to destroy him, like Zhang and, Fury.
Right, he had more heart. He also had.
Once he fought Fury, he had heart because he was taking a beating from Fury. He was standing on his 2 feet. When you mentioned about this is an interesting point. Wilder had no skills at all, and he had not only a following but a cult following.
Yeah,
This guy was like a cult leader. My king, this, and then they would defend him. They would even make up excuses after he lost. That's the type of influence he had on the people. Shakur will never have that.
That's the guy they should have put money behind. Have him fight, Moses Itam or something like that. That's going to make money. You give this guy $15 million a fight. You guys, I just got to say, you're retarded. That's what you are.
You think it would change if he played the nice guy like Sugar Ray Leonard? Wasn't he all polished? Chief would know that, right? Wasn't he like a more polished, respectful, like white America? He engraced himself to everybody. Like he came across as a nice guy.
Ray supposedly had a dark side behind closed doors, but he knew how to present himself to the public very well. And everybody loved it. It wasn't just white America. Everybody loved it. Everybody bought into it. The first time a welterweight was going to make 8 figures in 1980. Think about that. 1980 and an 8-figure payday, and you're not a heavyweight. So that's the kind of impact he had. So would Shakur be getting 8 figures if he was more exciting? I don't know necessarily about 8 figures. He'd be making the high 7s, that's for sure. They'd be negotiating paydays in his favor if he was more exciting.
Yeah, he's boring as fucking wet paint.
Well, now if I can,
he's dude. Like the comparison. Sometimes I hear these comparisons, and I'm like, bro, you can only do that with young people. You can only do that with like real young people who weren't around to see like a Sugar Ray Leonard. Bro, Sugar Ray Leonard and him, like think about Sugar Ray. Okay, first of all, he was in we living in modern times. He has a better physique than Shakur. So think about that.
Wait a minute.
With all the expensive technology today, he was still he looked like a complete athlete, right?
Yeah.
He was the fucking Black Bruce Lee. Right, his body shape was like always in shape, ready to go. He's faster than him. He's faster. Okay? And then he can knock you out. And then he was always smiling and shit like that. Yo, people that smile and knock you out, those dudes, they got something different. They don't take boxing, the fight personal. It's just part of the sport. That's all it is. Part of the sport. Win or lose, we'll see what happens. Let's put my skill versus your skill, right? So there is no comparison to these people, man. Don't ever put Shakur Stevenson. Don't even mention him next to Roy Jones. Roy Jones put people's lights out. Their eyes roll back in their head. When did you see this little kid ever do that? To who? Who did he ever do that to? Nobody. Okay.
Roy Jones ended up getting knocked out.
Yeah, okay. Roy Jones got knocked out when he was like 35, 30, you know?
His eyes rolled back in the
Yeah. Roy Jones got knocked out. Yeah, absolutely. But in his absolute prime, when he was trying to make some money, he put up way better performances than little Shakur could ever do.
Let's put it this way. Sometimes a fighter's best performance isn't necessarily his biggest fight. Like, for instance, Evander Holyfield's really good performance was against George Foreman with the way he threw those combinations. Roy Jones's was against Bryant Brandon. Now Bryant Brandon was not a great fighter. He was tailor-made for Roy Jones. But Roy Jones showed the fact he was tailor-made by creating combinations that nobody else throws against the guy who was in his face. Left upper, double left hook. Nobody throws that. Roy Jones did. And he was knocking him out doing it. He was making a statement. When the shoe's on the other foot, when Shakur's doing this, when he fought, I can't remember his name, when he fought junior lightweight, both of them were former featherweight champions, undefeated guy. I can't remember his Hispanic dude. Whoever he's fighting, whatever his name was, Shakur did beat him down pretty easily, one-sidedly. But instead of, okay, now that I'm 6 rounds ahead and this guy's going to start to take chances, let me use some angles and start to whip that hook to the body and double over. I'm sorry, who?
Valdez.
Yes, Valdez. That's the guy. Thank you. Yeah. No, that's exactly who it was. Instead of stepping to the side and start to whipping that hook to the body and making him bend over and beating him up, he was just satisfied with tattooing with just jabs to the head. So he carried him because he didn't want to take a risk. In a fight that he was clearly winning and could outclass the guy, he could have stepped up the intensity and proved, you don't belong in the ring with me. That's what Roy Jones did. That's not what Shakur did. And to wrap my opinion up on this is not me saying that how great I am when it comes to boxing, but he has turned me off to boxing. Him, Devin Haney, these queens that talk more than they actually perform have turned me off a lot towards the sport. And so if you can deter me from the sport, then you're not good for boxing.
I mean, that's a heck of an endorsement right there, or of a statement rather, if that Chief is making. And I will say this, like I said, we did that video there about why a lot of people dislike Shakur Stevenson. Is again, it's one thing to be hard-headed and to believe you're the best, but it's another one when you start concocting scenarios in your mind about how everyone's against you and you're the victim. That's like I said, that borders on narcissism and even a degree of, I don't know, psychosis, because he was saying that they paid a cameraman to film people leaving during the Hartunonian fight. And he said, Kriegel came up to me and asked me mostly negative questions. And then you listen to the interview and there's no negative questions there. If anything, he's trying to help Shakur Stevenson. So one part that we forgot to add was this here, where, because everybody loves Terence Crawford. So people could say, well, Terence Crawford's a boxing genius. So, if anybody's going to listen to, even a hard-hurt individual will listen to Terence Crawford as it pertains to boxing. Well, not so, man, because, hold on a second. Why is this loading up here? Here's a clip, and this is after the Hartunonian fight. I don't even know how I'm pronouncing it. But this is what he had to say afterwards. And hold on a second. Are we still in the air? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
All right, for some reason, this thing refuses to play. Here we go. Okay. No, here we go. No, actually, here we don't go. Look at this. Oh, my goodness gracious. Why won't this play, man?
I sent you that poster they sent me from Zuffa there, BDA.
All right, shout out to
the announcement poster.
Yeah. Let me show this first while that other stuff loads. Look at this. This is an
It
interesting.
was very fitting. I thought it was fitting.
This is an interesting poll. I don't know what they were going with here, but it's an interesting. I mean, I think they were trying to impress people. Look at that. They're trying to catch people's eye there. That's when they announced the Shakur Stevenson signing.
It looks like a
lot of people
midget
are calling
baby.
it a terrible signing. A lot of people are calling it a terrible signing. Like,
That was a weird room
What are they going to
when
do?
he signed that.
What are those stains on the walls? What is it all about? Oh, and then the
Looks
floor.
real.
Too.
Yeah,
It
it's
looks like a
disgusting.
midget baby, you know?
It looks.
Oil everywhere.
This is like
It's a boiler.
Davis looks puzzled. He's like, "Why did I do this?"
Shakur Stevenson in a boiler room match with a bunch of greasy dudes in the back there.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
My goodness gracious. All right.
That was actually Shakur's idea to sign it in there.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. That's actually in Turkey's dungeon.
What? All right.
Yeah, Crawford's on the left. Crawford wants to get some drinks. He'll be right back.
Now this is the clip I wanted to show you. This is after the Hortinonian fight, and he's resting there, and Terence Crawford is trying to talk some sense into the fella, but he's just not having it. Check this out.
I heard Dre say go to the right. I went to the right. He started going left.
Go to the right.
Bro, one of y'all said go to the right.
And cut him off with your jab. You weren't jabbing, bro.
Yeah.
You was just following.
I was trying to get him.
But you got to jab your way in. Because them body shots hurt him, bro.
You know, I had him at a certain time. I started picking the pace up, but it's like he just kept like.
You wasn't letting your hands go. You was picking the pace up with your movement.
Yeah.
But your hands wasn't, you know what I mean?
It was a certain time I started throwing, boom, 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 boom. I just started touching him.
And then I think in the 8th and 9th, he was like, let me start moving.
I was just about to say, just like,
he was pump faking like he was trying to do something, but he started, the first couple rounds, he was sharp. Yeah. And that 3rd, 4th, 5th, he started like kind of,
He was solid though. He was solid at first. I'm like, damn, he bouncing. He won't stand in one spot. Bouncing.
That's the thing. After the fight, he goes, "You put your track shoes too high, didn't you, champ?" And then he said, "Oh, he was just here trying to survive." Like the guy stood in front of him. The Hortinonian stood in front of Shakur Stevenson.
Yeah, he didn't run.
Like he moved a little bit. I couldn't hit him.
Yeah,
he moved a little bit.
He doesn't understand, like, he doesn't understand jabbing, right? Like, okay, so you're talking about his movement, right? So what you have to do to stop that movement, he's not moving, he's not backfooting you. Okay, he's side to side on you. What you do is you throw your jab. He don't understand that. He don't fight to hurt people. He fights to outscore you. So in a fight where he's claiming that he wants to try to knock a dude out, he don't know how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe he's trying to, but you know,
just like Floyd, he has issues with lateral movement. They all do.
Word that he was trying to, he was trying to get into a slugfest to see, if he could stop this dude. Let's just assume that. Well, then you don't know how to do that. You're not pound for pound shit, bro. You ain't like, if you don't understand that, you're not pound for pound nothing, bro.
So he can't deal with movement. He can't deal with movement. Yeah. And it was the same with Floyd. Lateral movement destroyed that guy. You saw what Cotto did to him, right? Once he started circling him, he didn't know what to do. He was like stationary in the middle of the ring, bending over, like while standing, stationary. That's why I said, like, imagine Prime Manny or a guy like a Lomachenko fighting Shakur. I mean, the guy just admitted he can't deal with movement.
Exactly. I mean, he said
so Crawford, go back to the video. Crawford's telling him like you should have jabbed more. He's like, no, he's making up a bunch of excuses.
He's supposed to defer to the more.
He said he was running away, and we know he wasn't running. He was literally standing. He was standing right in front of him, but he was circling him. He wasn't like what's his name? Like Zepeda came straight in, right? He put him up in the ropes, but for the most part, he came right in. And then who's the other guy? Valdez. He just comes straight in. He's not moving too much. This guy was just circling him, and he's like, and he couldn't deal with it. He's like, he's moving too much. He's running. It's like, no, he's right there.
In his mind, right? Yeah, that's what's happening. He's giving us an insight into his mind. That guy's fucking crazy.
His opponent has to be standing right in front of him to look good. Okay, so here's something real quick. Zab Judah, Floyd Mayweather, James Toney, Roy Jones, Shakur Stevenson. These guys, they get all this praise, because I'm tripping over my words, off of how great they think they are based off of the fact that they can look really good in scripted situations. But the second you mirror them or mimic them, their offensive IQ gets exposed that it's not as good as they think it is, because they get their knockouts off of counter punches and the other opponent's aggression. When they have to be the aggressor to force the knockout, they show their limitations. Even James Toney problems with it. He did best when you were against the ropes. He had to become the aggressor against Roy Jones. What happened?
He looked horrible.
He got schooled.
Yeah,
he got absolutely schooled.
And that's what we were saying before the Teofimo Lopez fight. That look, Teofimo Lopez, we know he's horrible. Speaking of being horrible at something, he's horrible at making the first move in the ring. Mm-hmm. He should have just. He's got the ability and the speed to. He could have made Stevenson look bad. He wouldn't have gotten the decision because we know how that works. But if he would have back foot bitched it and given Stevenson a taste of his own medicine, it would have been a more complicated fight for Stevenson. Because if you rewatch that De Los Santos fight, there are spots where De Los Santos stops trying anything, and he's like, "You come to me," and Stevenson refuses to, even to the point where there's a clip in a little portion in the final round where Stevenson actually has to go get De Los Santos, and De Los Santos weaves under a hook, and Shakur Stevenson goes flying and flailing in the air. That's why, or when Ryan Garcia did something similar to Devin Haney in spots in their fight where he started back foot bitching it, and Haney looked horrible. But for some reason, these dudes, they think, oh, well, he's moving first, so I got to go get him. No, fuck it. If the guy's moving excessively, guess what? You start doing the same thing away from him. So people start booing, then you go, well, hey, I'm doing what he's doing. So who's at fault here? Me for doing what he's doing? Or maybe you guys should start booing him and the referee should do his job and tell the other guy, stop fucking moving and start engaging, because that's what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to disengage all the time. So anyway, I'm not saying that's what that Stevenson did against Teofimo Lopez, but the point stands.
A little movement straight in the same. You didn't use any lateral movement.
That's what I'm saying. A little movement gives these guys hell, but there's all their opponents they're hard headed and they think, no, I gotta go get him. Nah, you don't.
Well, that's not how you do it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what we get.
You're fighting for him. You're doing what he wants. That's why that's like the Xander and Boots fight, where Xander's fighting. He's basically fighting the best fight for Boots. Mm-hmm. He's giving him what he wants. That's not what you do. You do your game plan.
First of all, the fact that you're calling him Xander by his first name, that shows a little bit of bias right there. Now it's all coming to light now.
I can't say I refuse to say his last name.
It's all coming to light. Why you can't say the name Zayas? What's going on here?
I don't want to say that. That's not that's not a real name.
All right. Well, listen, I don't want to sound like what?
So to Fu's point, and recognizing I've talked about this off air, and I wanted to mention this to Fu for a different point of view to hear his take on it. You are correct that Xander, however Boots' last opponent fought the wrong fight. That's not his normal game plan. Noted. But he did not have the speed or the quickness to throw Boots' timing off, and Boots was throwing his timing off. So the only choice he had based off of his knowledge and boxing IQ was to sell out and have to go at him, because backfooting
his legs. He had to use his legs to set up the openings. That was his problem. He's trying to punch with the guy. The guy's faster and he's a harder puncher. I said it before the fight. I said the guy's most likely he has to fight the perfect fight, and what he did was very far from that. And the fact that he actually rocked that guy just shows that if he would have fought to the best of his abilities, using his legs, getting this guy off balance and hitting him with some counter punches, he might have put him out. He might have put him away. He would have had Boots reluctant, right, thinking about throwing those punches, but he wasn't. He's on the inside, and the guy's very fast on the inside. So I just think he fought the wrong fight.
I agree with you, but I also think that he fought the only fight that his physical attributes would let him fight, because he wasn't fast enough even off the back foot. All right, if what you're saying is he needed to get enough distance to make Boots reach to counter him, I still don't think he was quick enough, or he thought he was quick enough to be able to do that, which is why he changed his fights.
He said after the fight that he got hit, and after he got dropped, he lost his legs. And so that's why he started fighting with him like that. That's what he said. I think he never should have been there to begin with, standing in front of that guy like that.
You know what, though?
He should have on his bike.
I rewatched the fight because I managed to get my hand on a copy, and man, it was impressive how much, because we all knew Ennis was faster than Zayas, but it was just the difference was just, I mean, even you know what, I was watching that fight, and then I started watching Ortiz fights, because I'm about to finish a video on Ortiz and Ennis. Ortiz is quicker than Zayas on that punching trigger, and even with the feet, the way he goes inside, Zayas is. And, I shouldn't have seen this coming, because it reminded me a little bit of Inoue versus Fulton in terms of the speed differential. But yeah, Zayas was, from the first round on, he was getting beat to the punch, even before he got dropped. So that was just a bad style matchup for Zayas. And it lets you know why Top Rank they're the best in the world at managing and promoting or matchmaking because they knew, hey, this is a bad style matchup for Xander Zayas. One thing I did want to highlight here is I don't want to sound like a negative Nancy because there's a couple of things going on here that are raising my ire in regards to boxing. But I will say this: look at some of the fights we've had so far in 2026, and you realize it's been a good year. Like we had Dalton Smith versus Matias, Muretaya versus Andy Cruz. We had Josh Kelly versus Murtazaliev. That was an interesting fight, and it was an upset, and we all love upsets. Figueroa versus Nick Ball. That was a good one. Ryan Garcia versus Mario Barrios. The fact that was pay-per-view, it sort of put a damper on it. But Emmanuel Navarrete versus Sugar Nunez. Aitama stopping Jermaine Franklin and creating a four. So you can see, and I can go on and on. We have had some interesting fights. However, it sort of pales in comparison to what we've had in the last 2 years. And I think, again, that we were spoiled by the mega cards that Turkey Al Sheikh put on. But also, it's kind of frustrating because there's so many good fights to make, and yet we're not getting them. Even now with all these promotional outfits under the zone, we're still not getting these fights. And then came this announcement. And I think I talked about it in the last episode about how we were 2 weeks away from the Joshua fight, and yet no undercard announced yet. Well, Turkey Al Sheikh went on Twitter and announced the undercard, and he tried to make it like a big event, a big announcement, and it really fell flat. It's like being promised a banquet, and then it's like 120 days of Saddam. It's just turds that they're serving you. Check this out. The comeback. Joshua versus Pringles. Hamza Shiraz taking on another no-name German. Josh Kelly taking on Aguiarco. I gotta look up who this guy is, but I don't know if he's a top contender or something. Tsutsumi versus Alvino. Tsutsumi, they're putting him, I think that's Seiya Tsutsumi. Senseiya Tsutsumi. Krishniak versus Patrak. Tayon versus Pino. And again, look, these matchups might be 50-50 on paper or something, but we don't know who these guys are. And that's the whole point of pay-per-view, that you're supposed to know who these people are. And then on top of that, the main event is horrible. I mean, this is a complete and total mismatch. Now, of course, I'm saying that, and then imagine Pranga pulls off the upset. But from what I've seen from Pranga, maybe I've seen the old fights. Maybe I haven't seen the new and improved Pranga, if there is such a thing. But this guy is horrible. I'm sorry. What is going on with this card, guys? Pay-per-view.
They shouldn't even put the undercard. They shouldn't even put the undercard. Like,
exactly.
The fact that they put all those fights, it makes it even worse.
They shouldn't even announce it. They should have just let it die on the vine, like they say in The Sopranos. Let it die at death. Because really, it's a horrible undercard, man. It's a horrible card overall. I cannot believe that this is what we're getting here. And like somebody said, and I know that Conor McGregor, the rematch there against Holloway was hollow. It rang hollow. But what I'm saying is, somebody was mentioning that was on Paramount Plus. That was free if you had Paramount Plus. Meanwhile, boxing fans, this is what we're getting? We have to pay for this? This is horrible, man. It is absolutely horrendous. Now, things get worse because PBC, they're like I said, they're going there with on the zone, right? Check out the cards that this is allegedly what's going to be announced. I think they already announced it by the time, because this was a couple of days ago. Sebastian Fundora versus Ermal Hadidibaj. I don't know. Brandon Figueroa. Thank you. Brandon Figueroa versus Tomoki Kameda. Okay, not bad. Jesus Ramos versus Meirim Nurzaltanov. I saw that guy. I've seen that guy fight. Okay, not bad. Jose Reyes versus Michael Angeletti. And he's Jose Reyes versus Gelato. I mean, come on. That's the big announcement that these guys, PBC on the zone. Guys, it seems like it's business as usual. Or even worse than usual.
Well, I mean,
it's on the dead zone now.
We've known that PBC has never really had a big stable of like up and coming guys that we're salivating to see ever since the decrepit geriatric welterweight division fell apart.
Mm-hmm.
We knew that before the Crawford Spence fight that all their stable was mainly junior middleweight and middleweight, and all these guys were either losing to each other, one-hit wonders, or at the welterweight division they were all approaching the mid-30s rather quickly, and they had nothing to replace it with. And then what you just put up there on the screen shows the fact they really didn't invest in any new up-and-coming talent. Even if they did, they didn't put it out there where we could say, hey, that's a fighter I want to see again.
Exactly.
And I said, how many years ago did I say this?
Yeah, we reached a point of no return.
Yeah, with PBC anyway.
I mean, yeah. And you also said that we're cutting inventory.
They didn't invest in the future.
Yeah, they were cutting inventory, and some fighters have been able to get some paydays off script of non-PBC fights, but they haven't been winning. So
exactly, exactly. And then, so that's what we've got there. Again, I don't want to sound like a negative Nancy, but I mean, it's reality. It's not me making stuff up. It's not me looking at the glass half empty. It is what it is. Now, maybe the glass half full view here is that in 2027, once they reset the budget, they're gonna give us some meaningful fights. But for the moment, this is what we've got, guys. Hopefully, they come up with some big cards near the end. Maybe they're saving the yearly budget for some cards near the end of the year. But right now, it's looking kind of bleak. By the way, don't forget to hit the like, fellas. Hit the like, hit the like, hit the like. Really helps us out. Don't forget to keep on commenting here. Hit the thumbs up. Subscribe if you yet to do so already. Don't forget to join our Patreon. Butcher just posted a video there for free. You can join the Patreon for as much or little as you want. And if you want to keep the gravy train rolling, dole out some super chats. Super chats.
Just 3 easy payments.
Just these 3 easy payments.
Sponsor.
Order now.
Call now.
Yeah. Now.
Call now. The kid's got a fly on his eye. Give us some money.
That's right. There you go, man. Now, I wanted to say this.
But not me. Give them some money.
Give us all the money. Rick Glacier, by the way, this is how difficult it is to be on Twitter, by the way, because you just never know who you're dealing with. Rick Glacier posted because he finally said, okay, I'm going to give you my criticisms of Zuffa so far after 6 months of events. So check this out. It's a big post, long post. Look at that. Everything. And then this dude at the end just goes, eat a dick, Rick. I mean, I got to tell you, man, it's the guy, you just can't win on Twitter, man. There's always going to be somebody after you. I mean, just social media as a whole, man, or the internet. It's just, there's always somebody going to be trying to get at you. And you can't pay them no money.
Recognize will tell you that I call him all the time about people doing. They're not telling me to eat a dick, but I mean, I get people like constantly blasting my Instagram all the time on.
I thought you were going to say that you tell him to eat a dick all the time.
No, but he and I talk offline a lot, and he's like, so who insulted you today? It's like, and he's like, you got to remember, these people don't know what they're talking about. I don't know why you get involved in these, because I'm an idiot. But yeah, I constantly get people telling me that I don't know boxing, and I'm like, okay.
Then Chief has to flex the guns. He's like, oh, I don't, and then he just goes off stating factoid after factoid.
I did that for a while. Yeah, well, I do like to state facts, yes. But when the facts fall on deaf ears or hit a brick wall, I'm like, okay, I'm either talking to a bot or a person that has no idea what they're talking about. So it's not just Twitter is my point. It happens on Instagram also.
Yeah, that's why the first time I met Chief, he goes like, yeah, they call me the demolition man. And he goes, he just demolishes walls. I go, all right, Chief, take it easy. He never really said that, by the way. I'm just making shit up. But listen, I tell you what I'm not making up. The fact that these cards are really bad. And I'm talking like Teofimo Lopez versus Rolly Romero, for example. Teofimo Lopez, Rolly Romero, that is not
you mean bad in a good way?
I mean, no. I'm not even... The fact that that's pay-per-view, a guy who hasn't fought in over a year in Rolly Romero against a guy who's coming off a loss, and okay, he's coming off a loss against Shakur Stevenson, but that's like Butcher was saying the other day, they reward these guys now for losing. And maybe Recognize could look into that and go, oh, hey, the guy lost and they're rewarding him with a title shot at welterweight. Something's fishy. Hey, listen, I agree. Especially after Recognize, I forgot to tell you, there was I talked about this a weeks ago on the morning show that Jay Prince is like, we got Devin Haney cornered because he's talking about how either he has to fight Keyshawn Davis now or Shakur Stevenson, which are both Jay Prince's guys. And he goes, I got him with the double barrel shotgun. Or I think something like about the 2 barrels of the shotgun. I go, whoa, why'd you have to bring up firearms into it? I don't know. It's just very weird, very interesting. But I will say this. So they've got the Teofimo Lopez, Rolly Romero on pay-per-view. I mean, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what they're thinking. It's going to flop on pay-per-view. But at least it might provide us a little bit of entertainment when it comes to the build-up to it. And here is the build-up indeed. A couple of clips here from the press conference that they had last week. This is Keith Connolly. I think that's Lopez's manager. And he has to get interrupted right away by Rolly Romero.
He's accomplished a lot in the sport. He's a future Hall of Famer. And the next step for him was getting his own deal directly with the
Hall of Famer. He's a Hall of Famer for sure already.
So...
So I don't know why they got so shocked, because the guy was talking about Teofimo Lopez, blah, 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 and he says, Teofimo Lopez, future Hall of Famer, and Rolly interrupts. He goes, he's not a future Hall of Famer, he's a current, present Hall of Famer. He's a Hall of Famer. So he's trying to big up, like as they say, that because he's trying to pump up Teofimo Lopez, so that if he beats him, it's like, hey, I beat a Hall of Famer. But the reality is, I don't know. I think we've talked about how Hall of Fame nowadays is different. And also the other thing is, these guys, he shocked them to the point where, when people get nervous and they start coughing because they start getting tense. That's what happened with these guys. Look, listen.
And the next very important for him was getting his own deal directly with the
Hall of Famer. He's a Hall of Famer for sure already.
So, as I was saying, it is a landmark deal. And I want to thank my partner, Mike Correo, the lawyer of the team, Greg Smith, the father, and Teofimo himself, and a big shout out to Jared Cass. If it wasn't for Jared.
Excuse me.
The fuck was that?
I tell you, they got so choked up, they just started coughing nonstop.
Someone just took a big, that's a big bong hit.
That's a big bong hit. I mean, I don't know what it is, but yeah, it was weird, man. It was weird.
Yeah.
But, okay, so let's keep, I don't know what that was. Hold on a second.
You know what the funny thing here?
Sure.
Is they say they've got Devin Haney backed into a wall. If Teofimo wins this fight, especially if it's way impressive, Devin Haney can just say, well, he's a future Hall of Famer. He just got another belt. I'll just go fight Teofimo Lopez.
Yep.
Oh, my
And
goodness.
Lopez will jump at that because it'll be the biggest payday he can get aside from Shakur Stevenson or Keyshawn Davis. And so they can freeze those two out temporarily just by walking right over it. And then if he gets a belt and he beats Teofimo Lopez, he's going to say, you've got me backed where? I've got a belt again. Two-time welterweight champion, never lost at welterweight. Where are you guys? I just beat Teofimo Lopez and, of course, Shakur. I beat him too. Great. But now I beat him recently for a belt after he was on a winning streak of getting a belt. I've got him. I'm still undefeated because
that's how
no contest.
That's how.
They haven't backed him into a corner if Teo wins this fight. But now if Rolly wins this fight impressively, like he upset, I won't say it was impressive, but he did upset Ryan Garcia. And I won't say nobody. Most people thought that wouldn't happen. So if he wins this fight also halfway impressively, Devin Haney will clearly walk over there and give up his belt if they don't meet a negotiation with Davis and Shakur, because I believe in his mind he definitely thinks he can beat Rolly Romero. But if Rolly's got a win of Ryan,
I think Rolly's going to take him, man.
Really?
Teo doesn't have any punching power as he came up in weight. He has none at 140. At 147, like, this guy can punch, man, Rolly, and he's very athletic. So I think I'd actually be edging the fight towards him, and possibly by a TKO.
It does make make some sense, because to beat Rolly Romero, who really overuses the shoulder roll, you need a jab. And Teofimo Lopez, one thing he does not have is a jab. So he might be a better boxer than Romero. I think if
he also has no power. He has no power at all.
Right. I think Romero, even the big version of Romero, even with Ismael Salas and all that in his corner, I don't think he could beat the version of Lomachenko that Lopez fought. Maybe
he wouldn't. He definitely wouldn't. But Teo, I think as he's gone up in weight, he's lost speed, athleticism.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if you put him up, if you put him up against common opponents, Teofimo Lopez is a better boxer, but not head to head. It might be a bad stylistic matchup for Lopez. You never know.
He's Danny not. I don't know who I'm trying to say. Not Danny Romero. He's Danny Garcia moving up in weight. He's still got a solid skill set. But there's certain fighters that he has to face in order to win, and most of them aren't going to be at the world-class level at the higher weight classes. He's going to be a stepping stone for the bigger names, and then you're going to put him in against like B and C plus competition. He'll win. But even like DSG got those knockouts against the lesser opponents, whereas Teo's not. And so, like I said, if Rolly does pull this off and gets a late round TKO, especially what I was saying, and Fuz agreeing with me, if this happens that way, like I said, Devin's got a sure shot straight over there. Okay, take my belt. I'm going to go fight him, because Rolly will jump at that fight. It's the biggest fight he can get. As far as wrapping up the comment Phil was also making when it comes to power, we had Barrera and Morales at 122. They're knocking everybody out. 126, they were working their way to knockouts, but they were still getting knockouts. They got to 130, and it was because of their skill that they were still winning. They weren't knocking people down or out anymore. They might have been enough to like stun people, but they really weren't putting the hurt on to where people were quitting on the stool, getting knocked down, or succumbing to body shots and power shots.
Mm-hmm.
That third weight class was enough to where their skills could still get them through. What's going on with Tio is that his power isn't translating even to that level. And because his skills aren't as fundamental as theirs, he's trying to work on only reflexes to get him there. It's not working.
It's an interesting point right there, man. Let me tell you. And I want to read a super chat here real quick before we continue on with that discussion. Shout out to shout out to Money Mark. Shout out to Money Mark for his contribution with the super chat. And he says, "Salute BDA. Smells like the winner of Teo versus Rolly will fight the winner of Ryan Garcia versus Conor Ben." Interesting. Maybe. I mean, they're already showing, Zuffa's already showing they're willing to work with other promotional entities. So maybe this is something that's, but I don't know, maybe they're looking for the winner of Ryan Garcia and Ben versus, what's his name, Shakur Stevenson and whomever he fights. I don't know, but it's possible, Money Mark. It's possible. The pieces are starting to move now. At least there's some progress being made. Now, when it comes to Bucho asked in the chat, like, what's Rolly gonna do? I mean, if you think about Rolly Romero, he's very limited too, because I mean, he fought Ryan Garcia, and people are like, oh, he beat Ryan Garcia. He barely beat him in my eyes. He didn't push the pace. He landed some body shots. Garcia landed jabs, and it was up to you to decide which one you liked. What did you like best, Garcia's jabs or Rolly Romero's occasional shots to the body? And the fact that Romero did start turning it on in the last 2.5 rounds. But other than that, he didn't do much. So if he's going to be fighting Teofimo Lopez, and Teofimo Lopez is very quick on that counterpunch trigger, I don't exactly see Romero going for it. So it's probably going to be a very uneventful fight. Very uneventful fight. Let's keep hearing here what these guys had to say. And now this here in this part, you see, this is okay. Yeah. So okay, now they start with the fluff here. Then they gotta go back to the whole. We wanted an easy fight, but check this out.
Decision maker on the team. It was the perfect fight, perfect style, and why not come back with a bang? You know, go to a new weight class, take on one of the top guys right away, win, and then you're back in the upper echelon of the sport. And that's what Tio wants. He doesn't want to waste time. We actually offered him an easier fight. He did not want that. He said...
You hear Teofimo Lopez Sr. in the back. Exactly.
He doesn't want to waste time. We actually offered him an easier fight. He did not want that. He said, nope, yep, go directly to a big fight and get me back to the top of the sport right away. And that's what he's going to do. Teofimo is so determined. I've talked to him a lot over the last couple of weeks. He's really gotten his mind right in the last 2 weeks. And I'm super excited for August 27th.
So you heard him there say he's gotten his mind right. So that's the excuse with Teofimo. They're going to double down on that later in this press conference. But that you're starting to see there, they've already been planting the seeds there for a while. Like when Teofimo Lopez is on, it reminds me of Zab Judah, Adrian Broner. Like, oh, when he's in shape and when he's focused, maybe he's just limited. Is that a possibility?
That's exactly the.
What's that?
We'll let Phil go first.
No, you go. You know what? I'm putting my foot down. Now, Fu wasn't going to say anything, but let's pretend like we're not letting him talk, and we're giving you the first go.
Well, I thought I heard him start at the same time, so I'll go first. Then, thank you very much, sir. Yeah, it's exactly the situation. They're trying to make it sound like he's as good as he wants to be, and he only fights the level of competition. All the cliches that they say when a quote unquote great fighter doesn't live up to greatness, they put every excuse out there except for the fact that they're limited, and other great fighters can expose their flaws. Mm-hmm. And when those flaws are exposed, they have no plan B.
Exactly. Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I mean, we've seen it numerous times in the past, and we'll continue to see it. We're seeing it now. Check this out.
I think you're going to see the best Teofimo Lopez at 147. He will win this title. And the next 2 or 3 fights.
Okay, so then Teofimo Senior comes in, and this is where it starts getting good here. Hold on a sec.
Summer, he was actually going to fight in September or October, but And he was going to get an easy fight. And my son didn't want to do that. He wanted to fight the world champion, A lot of these fighters, are fighting vacant belts, and they call them champions. My son is going to be a 3-time world champion come August 22nd.
They already. We didn't want we didn't want an easy fight. They offered us an easy fight, so they're really trying to aggrandize themselves by taking on the great Rolly Romero. And then on top of that, this dude has the goal to say, my son's gonna be a 3 world champion. This guy's a real champion. Okay, can anybody remind me how Romero got his belt? The one he's currently holding. Right. Okay, he beat Ryan Garcia, right? And then the WBC or whichever, I don't know, I forget which title he holds. They decided to, by the way, Jaron Ennis is leaving the division. Okay, we'll make this guy the champion. That's what they did. They never fought a ranked guy in the division. They just fought each other, and they decided to give the belt to one of these guys. That's a real champion. It's insane.
68 champions at a given time in the sport.
Exactly. And then I saw somebody on Twitter, the guy that we had him on the show. He's a Jaron Ennis fan. He goes, this is actually good because it's better, participation trophies, in other words. He was saying that it's better for the sport to have more champions. Like, no, it's not, man. We've seen this for Chief can attest to this. We've seen this since the inception of the third belt in the 1980s, the IBF. And then now all of a sudden the WBO in the last decade, people started going along with the notion that it was a legitimate belt. So now we got 4 belts. Have things gotten better with 4 belts? No, they've gotten worse.
We've got more multi-division, 4 divisions used to be almost impossible to accomplish. That's why Alexis Arguello couldn't do it. It was so hard to be able to
all
do
they're doing is diluting the value of the titles.
Exactly.
You got like 4 welterweights. I mean, and then they'll have the unification, and it's like, but you're not fighting all the top guys because they award these belts. Like they'll set it up where the guy could fight a bum and get a belt. So in the end, sometimes they don't even fight the best guys.
Or even worse, the weight belt goes vacant, and that's when they go for it.
Yeah. Undisputed in the 4 belt era. I was like, all right, we got to keep listening to that shit. Then we got to keep listening to Rolly Teofimo Senior here. Hold on a second. He's got, what's he saying here? Okay, yeah. So I get that. They come in with the excuses here.
I can't wait for that.
Oh my God,
Rolly. My son is an entertaining fighter, and I can't wait. I can't wait for that night.
Rolly fights a very different style than Shakur. Do you believe this style is going to be better for your son?
Oh, of course. Any style is better for my son when he's mentally in the fight. Everything with my son is mental. When my son is in his A game, nobody can beat him. I think that night was not his
mentally
night.
ill. He's mentally ill, but this night I think he got the right treatment,
the right medication.
Too good.
He took his ass fine.
Anytime he loses, he's like, my son, his head wasn't there. He was crazy.
It fell out.
The boy's mentally ill.
He
was hearing voices again. The dog's butt was talking to him.
Oh, man.
To be honest, Porter's dad was just as bad. I was actually trying to get on to the Boxing Voice the day before that fight, and Ness had Porter's dad on, Kenny on, and we're always the underdog. We're in such great shape. We've done this. They're going to be surprised at what we can do. He's been training so hard. He has almost no body fat. He's been lifting tires. He's been doing all this stuff, and then they stopped. Well, he wasn't training hard. He wasn't doing what I told him to do. He wasn't listening to me and training
all around.
Well, wait a minute. That's not what you said the day before on air. So when everyone,
he's like, I'm lying.
Yeah, and you know what?
Real quick, a guy I used to talk to online a long time ago would regurgitate all this stuff that Kenny Porter was saying. I was like, that's funny because if you actually followed all these things you say that you followed, you would have heard Kenny Porter say the opposite on the Boxing Voice just yesterday. And so regurgitating this wasn't training right.
Mm-hmm.
You're not following everything. You're just regurgitating points you want to try and make your point.
They're like, my son is in the best shape of his entire life. He's never looked better. Then the next fight he loses. He's like, he looked terrible.
Well,
he was in the worst shape of his life.
To Chief's point is, I think some of these dudes, their ego is so involved, they'd rather assuage their ego than to realize that they're looking bad, because what they're doing is they're spending a bullet. They're saying, oh, my son's on, he's on now. Now his manager's saying the same thing. He's on, he's sharp. And I'm thinking, well, you said the same thing prior to the Stevenson fight. We got the game plan.
This time it's real.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So now, little by little, people start listening to this crap and they go, well, is he lying? And you just admitted your son's mental. So which one are we going to get? Am I going to risk $75 plus tax to watch to see whether your son, I'm going to take a chance on your son to see whether he's mentally on or whether they didn't give him enough electroshock therapy and he's going to fucking blow a gasket or something on that night.
He's bipolar.
He's got these.
We can get him in at the right time. Or somewhere around 4 p.m. He's good.
See,
he took the wrong medication. He took his downers before he got in the ring, so it didn't work right.
Chief, at least
they gave it to him too early. It didn't kick in. It didn't kick in at the right time. Actually, it kicked in too early.
Chief, at least he didn't say he didn't go with the Vinny Paz excuse. Like, I drank too much cappuccino before the fight against Roy Jones, and I crashed. I had a caffeine crash. I shouldn't have drank it. You're gonna blame coffee.
His other excuses were usually I was with 3 women the night before.
I can believe that.
That part was probably true.
Yeah, exactly. Now, so this is Teofimo Lopez Sr. saying that, oh man, it's when my son's on, when he's on the right meds, when he's not dyslexic, he can beat everybody.
That's the past. We gotta move on.
That's the past, but we keep bringing it up about how we weren't on, right?
I would love to have a fight with him in the future, but like I said, in this game is not a race. Is this a man? Lomachenko. And these people, is that your ass? Who's that, Rolly? Man, you know what happened with you, Rolly. So I don't want to even mention it, but my son. I can't wait. Just shut up, bro. Let me talk, bro.
All right, so now you see the Rolly Romero's clown. That wasn't Food TV, by the way. That was Rolly Romero clowning Teo Sr. Doing the voice.
It's funny because I thought it was good for a second.
Yeah, I know. That's why I had, because I didn't put it up on the screen because I don't want to play too much of the video sometimes. So, but yeah, that was Rolly Romero.
No offense, Food. That guy did a good imitation of you.
Well, I mean, it just goes to show Food's not the only master imitator on this on the YTBC, man.
Oh my God!
Please let me talk.
I remember when he said that.
But anyway,
when he did the booty bump.
Oh yeah. I'm still trying to find the clip where he's in the back of a pickup truck, Teofimo Lopez Sr. that is, and Teofimo Lopez Jr. is running behind it. And then he starts dancing. He's got no shirt, and then Teofimo Lopez starts zooming in on the abs. With the camera, starts zooming in on the abs. Goes, oh my God! Look at that boy!
You played that before. You put that on a show.
God, the kid is shredded.
I know, but I can't find the clip anymore. I think it got corrupted or something, and I think maybe it's Destiny telling me don't play that clip anymore because it is disgusting in a lot of ways. But yeah, so this is Teofimo Lopez Sr. here still. What's he saying?
Man, you know what happened with you, Rolly. So I don't want to even mention it, but my son. I can't wait. Just shut up, bro. Let me talk, bro. Please let me talk.
Come on, bro. And then, so he's talking about what happened, right? So
let me talk, bro.
So then check this out. Then they start going at it again.
Together many rounds over the years. What did you take away from those sparring sessions?
We really had to take it easy, remember? Because the first one was really ugly, and then Rolly just wanted to work.
I think you
gotta hit him, bro. You know that's true, mother. You know that's true.
Hey, Lomachenko.
Hey, no, hey, let me explain.
I don't know if people heard it, but he goes, "You gotta hit him, bro." That's what he said. So he's Rolly's doing the meme now. He watches the memes on Twitter.
I think
you gotta hit him, bro.
You know that's true, mother. You know that's true.
Hey, Lomachenko.
Hey, no, hey, let me explain this. You was never our friend. Nobody knew who the fuck you was, and you came and started clout.
Now they're sounding like teenage girls. We never liked you. We never really liked you. Nobody likes you. What's going on here, man?
You see, on my son, and
you can't sit with us, bro. Bro, get out of here. You can't sit with us.
We can't be seen with you. You're too unpopular.
Oh, there's Teo. Oh my God.
You gotta do a video on that, fool.
When you came and fought Tank, you never even talked to us again. That's why I hit you in the chest the last time I seen you, remember?
Okay, so now he's admitting to assault, by the way.
You him in the chest?
When I hit you in the chest and I say you ain't real friend.
But
you remember that day,
Junior.
You just kept on walking, man.
Junior,
You're fake,
Junior.
bro.
You're
You're
so
fucking
much
fake,
love for
bro.
you guys.
And you know that night, you're not even gonna touch my son. So that's what I gotta say.
Junior, you know I have so much love for you.
Let's go, baby.
I got some stuff.
I got so much love. You know, I hit you in the chest, hit you in the back, hit it in the back. It's like, what? What's going
You're
on?
not even gonna touch my son on that night.
So yeah, so he's saying that Teofimo Lopez essentially beat up Rolly in sparring. I mean, sparring is sparring, but again, this is the best we're gonna get, man. First of all, these guys we don't even like you, bro. You can tell that these guys are just going through the motions. They probably do like each other, but they gotta sell some type of animosity because again, this is pay-per-view, so they gotta try it. But it's falling flat. I don't know what about you guys. What did you think of that press conference? There you go. The silence is it all. These guys didn't think of it.
Very comical. Yeah, we turned into mannequins. I don't think it's that exciting. I really don't. This press event's trash. And yeah, I think they are friends. Sort of like friendly banter. That's what it is.
Yeah,
they bust
it is,
each other's balls, but yeah, there's nothing. I don't think they have any ill will towards each other.
I don't think
if they had real ill will with the way these guys act on a regular basis, someone would have stood up and tried to charge the other one. They didn't do that.
They were fist bumping. I saw these guys like fist bumping recently at the press event. So I mean, it's all it's bullshit, like you said. They're just trying to build up the fight.
Yeah, it's gonna. I don't think it's gonna do well. It's not gonna do well. I don't think it's gonna be that entertaining a fight. At least it doesn't look like it in terms of the styles. And
tried the monkey mask. I don't think it fell flat. It really did because he's not the right complexion.
I mean, it was funny. Oh, come on, it was funny listening to Romero imitating Senior. You gotta hit him, bro. But other than that, it's like these guys.
The racist angle doesn't really work.
That's right. He was trying to be racist.
You gotta come in with them. Yeah, maybe he should make fun of jiu-jitsu or something because I think Rolly was a judo guy.
Oh well, yeah, there was that clip of him judo throwing a guy in sparring. So
yeah,
I'm telling you,
yeah, he's good at that. That's his first discipline.
Rolly's dangerous, man. I mean, this is a guy with R-word strength, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah. That's going to be a big factor in the fight, I think.
That strength, that special needs strength, you're saying, yeah.
Oh yeah. You took away his juice box. You take the juice box away, the guy gets that strength.
Yeah, I mean, and don't forget that that there was that Rolly Romero, those allegations against him about how he tried to shove his flaccid dick down a woman's throat.
Oh my
in the back
God!
Of the car.
Perfect there.
Yeah, could anybody be any more graphic?
But that's what the report said, I think. But anyway, yeah. So imagine that dude with that type of strength. That is a dangerous individual, let me tell you.
Well, he says he's going abstinent too. I guess he's practicing semen retention for this fight.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, he's real dangerous now.
He's become a big Bible thumper. He's become a real big Bible thumper. Not that that's a bad thing. Just the kind of what do you call that? The guys on those soapboxes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the preachers.
It's because of his rape.
Yeah, the crazy type. Like he's Rolly's done a real 360. What I heard, a rumor, I don't know. I heard from somebody that claims to be on the inside that this is going to be his last fight.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, because you haven't heard the way he's been talking that he's giving them women. He was gonna what do they call that? Unalive himself just after the Ryan fight. Yeah, he's been saying some really wild things, man.
Interesting.
He's really on the.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah. He was gonna jump off of that garage with Keyshawn.
Oh man.
Yeah. But you guys should be ashamed of yourself for laughing at the challenge.
We weren't laughing at him. What are you talking about?
You guys were laughing at him, making fun of him.
No, we weren't.
What do I do? What if I jump?
What if I jump? Yeah, that's my brother. Shakur's my brother.
Shakur,
no, it really was like a sixth grade battle, right? I mean, it was.
And I did change my mind.
Well, another thing I wanted to mention about Teofimo Lopez here is this doesn't really make sense. It doesn't quite cut the mustard here. You guys tell me what you think about this statement here.
A technical fight, but I think in this type of situation, it's put up or shut up for a reason. So we're either gonna put up our best.
Okay, so he's just talking about the fight there.
It'll be a first time.
was kind of waiting on your team to come to him. So what happened with you in Top Rank? Are you still in Top Rank?
You see the banner behind? You see the step and repeat? You see all that? There's your answer.
Like when promoters and managers start talking about negotiations on social media, what do you think about that as a fighter? Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing?
I think that you got to know how to sell, and if you want to negotiate, you can't ask and demand things if you don't have the supplies. You got to
see. That's interesting because we were just talking about that about an hour ago or so thereabouts when we started the show about how these guys are getting paid a lot. Like De La Hoya said, "Oh, Ryan Garcia commands big purses for what?" You know, it's maybe at the gate, but in terms of people actually paying to watch him fight via television, apps, whatever, not a lot of people are doing that.
Apply that.
And it's even more pronounced with Lopez, because even less people know who he is.
You can't demand things and you don't supply nothing. So I think that's the biggest factor. I want people to understand that. Me at 28, the reason why this deal happened with Takeover Promotions directly with the Zone, and this is a 20 million plus deal. But the reason why this happened was because.
So that's the part I wanted to play. He's saying that his deal is a $20 million deal. Now, is anyone buying that here? That this guy is worth 20
I got a bridge to sell you, or land in Florida to buy.
Yeah, or some
if you believe in
sand in the desert. I mean, what is he talking about? Is that where we're at, Frank? That people have to be making stuff up now? These fighters got to be. Is that a flex? They think it's a flex. Like, yeah, let me make up the fact that I'm getting 30 mil, and then Conor Ben 50
I tell
mil.
chicks at the bar all the time. I'm on my way to 20 million. Like it's just a matter of days.
When I made my first million a couple of years ago, it was really, that was a hard one to make. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the saying. The hardest part is the first million.
Mm-hmm. That's the one that's the one you go with. But in terms of views too, like in the beginning when I read this, I thought it was good. When they said that this statement right here, that Abdullah Mason versus Albert Bell did well, 820,000 viewers. That's the statement that they put out. But then people started questioning that and saying, well, hold on, it was on the Zone and on TNT. So are we talking about just on the Zone? It did 820,000 views? Well, I don't think so, because usually the Zone doesn't release numbers. So all of a sudden, I don't know, now because of the TNT telecast or simulcast, they decided to release these numbers. But again, were these numbers 820,000? Was this on TNT alone? Was it just on the Zone, or was it split in both? Because if it was split, all of a sudden, it doesn't look all that impressive now, does it? So in the beginning, I thought that this was good, but now I'm thinking, I don't know, man. Now it's starting to sound fishy here. What else, man? So hopefully that Teofimo Lopez Romero fight does well. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't think it's going to do all that well, but one can hope. Now we got this Tim Tszyu versus Errol Spence fight coming up. That's very intriguing for the mere fact that we want to see how, Errol Spence looks. Now, Errol Spence coming in here with some sort of a cartoon shirt. He looks like he just came out of a cartoon from the 1970s. And they did the face-off. First of all, the face-off, if you look at it, I'm going to show it to you right now. Hold on a second. It looks kind of cheap, man. The set looks kind of cheap. Look at this. When they do the one in England or in the Zone, they got actual lighting. There's contrast and all that. Look at this one. It looks like they're in an actual empty room. The quality of the camera isn't even that good. I think even the quality of the audio isn't all that good. So, but check this out here. Errol Spence feels he's being disrespected. Check this out.
I see is like he might be ready. How am I supposed to know? We should see. Yeah, how am I supposed to know? Dismissive. No.
Okay, first of all, it's very difficult to understand what Errol Spence is saying here. If anybody still doubts that this guy, right?
Well, I mean, some people attributed he's from Texas, so they have that Texas drawl, but that's a little too slurred for me. No, I mean not slurred, but just barely audible.
It sounds like the Raid Roach after he's been sprayed. Somebody should animate like stars or birds flying around his head.
Oh,
the whole thing in the cartoons that they get conked on the head with a hammer.
In the cartoons, yeah.
BDA. He's drunk, man.
You think so?
Just like Waldo.
Where's he finding Waldo? Where's Waldo? Look at what he's wearing.
Yeah, that's the reference. Waldo. Yes, there you go. I was trying to describe. Yeah, he's wearing a Where's Waldo shirt. That's what? That's the real question there, Fu. That's true. Where's his mind? Where's his head at?
Spence, yeah. Yep. He's just trying to make another payday. Payday, right?
Payday, Canelo.
Payday.
But yeah,
Canelo.
that's really bizarre there that we can't really understand what he's saying. Let me continue playing.
Yeah.
Let me continue
What
playing.
happened?
What is that recognized?
Yeah, I fell asleep. God damn it!
Whoa, that's why I heard you. Okay, so that was you talking in your sleep, saying no, okay, no,
Don't touch me.
no. But recognize we're playing clips of Tim Tszyu taking on Errol Spence and it's stuff. The sit down that they do on TV. And Errol Spence, we can't really even understand what he's saying. Check, this is Errol. Listen to
Do you
him.
have that at full speed? Is that a full speed, or do you have like the video and the YouTube setting for?
No, that's real. That's real speed. Check. Let's keep
real time.
Let's keep hearing.
Yeah. I like a couple of dollars to get someone. You know what I'm saying? Get home.
I'm telling you, man. This
guy sounds better now.
All right, now let's keep. That wasn't him. That wasn't. Let's listen to it. Let's re-listen for real here.
I see is like he might be ready. How am I supposed to know? We should see.
Yeah, how am I supposed to know?
Dismissive.
No, I respect what you've done in your career, but you haven't had a fight in 3 years. How can I say that this?
You want to spar today?
Let's go.
All right, so there you heard it. Errol Spence feels like people saying that we don't know what he's got left or we're going to see on fight or whatever, that is dismissive of him, of his skills. And Tim Tszyu rightfully
asked. He's learning more than James Toney.
Well, it's a fair, that's who got a good point. It's kind of a fair question. I mean, I like Errol Spence, but it's like, dude, you haven't had a fight in 3 years. You look paper thin when you were getting beat up by Crawford in your last fight. You took one of those kind of beatings that nobody could have predicted because you looked like your end days were upon you. So it's a fair question, man. I don't think it's no disrespect. Let's see what you got left.
He's not that same. Everybody's asking this question, right? Everybody.
Yeah, everybody
doubts. It's not like it's only Tim Tszyu.
Yeah, the last time they saw you, you were getting punched. You know what I'm saying?
Like one-sided. It wasn't even like he didn't even put up a fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Running you over.
That's a great point that you. Sorry.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah. No, that's a great point you guys are making. That look, this dude lived a very unhealthy lifestyle, going around drinking, flying out of cars, getting chased by rappers, having mentats in between fights. Taking, I don't know what he was taking, completely out of it, and filming himself with his girlfriend. When I go to Dubai, baby, getting the crap beat out of him by Crawford, barely putting up a fight. Then now coming out and saying that they didn't even train for the fight, and we're supposed to just think, oh yeah, we're supposed to give him the benefit of the doubt about his abilities. I mean, I'm telling you, these people are out of it, man. They really are lunatics.
In other words, what he's saying is, I'm just going by what he said, right?
Mm-hmm.
True or not, he didn't come in to win the fight. So the last time you came in, you weren't even trying to win. So, I of course, I have questions about you.
This seems different, though. After 3 years out of the ring, older, drunker, and it's gonna be different now.
Exactly. Now it's like with Teofimo Sr. Now when he's got his mind correct, nobody can stop him, bro. Nobody can stop him, bro. It's different. He's got the right medications, bro. He did his homework, bro. I mean,
I'm different. I'm different.
I'm different.
Spence is different now, bro. He's different.
Then what? This? Okay.
No. Yeah.
Okay. No, that's. I don't think that's.
BDA, we need to get X back, man. There's something going on.
You know what? You're right, man. We need X. He's gonna get to the bottom of it. He's gonna look at it from different angles that we're missing.
He'll be able to decode all this nonsense that's going on right now.
I agree, man. I agree. Now I got to tell you though, maybe
I know Spence can be good. I know that because I was talking to him.
I tell you what, man.
I
tell you what, 100% X would not let another man put his hands on him. And this brings us to another friend of Errol Spence. I forget which Charlo is the one that got slapped by Caleb Plant. That was
the bigger one.
The bigger one. Okay.
Jermell.
Jermel. Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
No, Jamal.
I'm sorry, Jamal.
Oh yeah, Jermel. Small. Yeah. Okay, that one, that dude. Yeah, so he got slapped incidentally on the day of Spence Crawford, and so that was a bad day for Texas right there. And this
taking out.
And apparently Crawford, what's his name, Charlo apologized, but now it seems like he's taking it back. Check this out.
Yeah, I tugged on his beard. Yeah, I manhandled him in front of his wife. Yeah, like I would have did the same thing he did. I just wouldn't have took off running. I would have tried to, you know what I'm saying, see what the action was.
So what is your relationship now with Caleb Plant? Of course, the situation happened back then between you and him. Is that something that you still want to try to revisit, moving forward, being out for a year or so? You're going to head out to Australia. I believe you're going to dominate and do your thing. Is that something that you think that you still want to try to revisit? I think that's still a fight I want to see.
Yeah, I want to.
Why is Jamal Charlo now looking like that? You remember the guy who in Boys in the Hood who shoots the football player? That's what he looks like. He's got the Jerry curl and everything, man. What is it?
He's turning back the clock. That's what he's trying to tell him.
Oh, you know what? He's gonna run the block there on Caleb Plant, man, with an Uzi, and he's gonna shoot him.
Give us, messages like, this time I'm gonna shoot him. Back me in my face, I'm gonna shoot him.
Exactly, he's gonna escalate. That's the code of the streets.
Fight him.
Yeah.
Why not? I want to do what the fans want. The fans want that fight. Yeah. Is the fight? Do the fight make sense?
Do the fight make sense?
Who knows?
Yes,
I mean, it don't matter who he lost to. It don't matter who he beat in the past. Time makes everything, what it is. And I think a fight with Caleb Plant will get the fans.
You know what I like about this interview, though? You see they're wearing the lapel mics. You can see it there on his left shoulder, or on his left side there. At least they're not holding the lapel. I don't know what's going on now. People are wearing these lapel mics and all that, and they're holding it to their mouths now.
Yeah, it's getting retarded. I remember you pointed it out, the big giant mics. And then they went back to the lapel mics, and now they put them on a brick and hold it in their hand.
Exactly, man.
The lapel is supposed to be connected to your shirt, right? So that way you don't have to hold it to anything. You have to hold a microphone.
Yeah,
These guys
the point is
like,
for it to not really be visible, right? To not really be in the shot. And these idiots, I've seen it many times, they'll put it on they'll have a whole sword in their hand and put the lapel mic on it. In boxing, it should be like the boxing glove. They're holding a full boxing glove with the lapel mic attached.
I'm happy we're talking about Jamal Charlo. Okay, how old is he?
It's gonna be. I think he's gonna be the same age as Canelo. I think it's 36, maybe.
So 36.
Okay. Let's hold it right there. That guy's undefeated at 36 years old, and what legacy has he left behind? A guy who's had as long of a career as he has is undefeated at 36 years old. Tell me what kind of legacy this man has.
I got you. Recognize. I got you. You thought he had us. I'm gonna clap back on this one. He beat Sergey Davidachenko easier than Gennady Golovkin did. What do you think about that? How do you like them apples?
I mean, okay, that's his claim to fame.
But that's the thing. First of all, that's to your point. He beat Davidachenko went to war with Golovkin. He'd gone to war too against Jack Kolke. I think that was before the so he'd been through the ringer is what I'm trying to say here. So okay, that was a big win. But like you said, that's the legacy. He must know that. That must not sit right with him.
Yeah, that's his legacy. He beat a 36-year-old undefeated boxer, right? And we can't really point to any real signature win to say, man, this guy, the reason why he's undefeated because he beat this guy, he beat that guy. We don't have that.
Mm-hmm.
The best he's done, he's beat prospects and one real challenger. You know what I'm saying?
And I hate to have to say this, but it has to be with a lot of these PBC guys, man. A lot of these PBC guys, their careers got derailed. I mean, Danny Garcia was on a roll. And then he goes 2014. That's when the PBC took out all those fighters from under De La Hoya's feet. All of a sudden, all these careers started going nowhere. Danny Garcia, Jamal Charlo, Tank Davis, even today now, he's languishing. David Benavidez for a long time wasn't doing anything. Who else am I missing? Stephen Fulton wasn't really around. Deontay Wilder wasn't fighting anybody for a long time. It's like, I mean, come on, man. Now now their careers are done, and what do they have to show for it? Erislandy Lara. Remember, he signed one, then he's down to 1 fight per year, or every 2 years. It really is.
I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example, BDA.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Who has a better legacy? Wilder with 4 or 5 losses and 3 or 4 of them by knockouts, or undefeated 36-year-old Jamal Charlo?
I mean, I know I'm supposed to say Wilder, but even then, I don't think either of those careers are.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
It is if he's undefeated at the age of 36, which means he's had a full career, right?
Mm-hmm.
Most of these guys today they turn pro at 21, right? So we're talking about a 15 to 16 year career. You're undefeated, and you're not ringing any bells. You don't ring any bells at all.
Man, that's insane.
I would say Wilder rings a little bit more bells than you do, and he's got 4 to 5 losses, 3 or 4 of them by knockout.
I mean, that is insane, man. That is
This
absolutely.
goes to tell you, man, being undefeated, it means absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean anything at all.
You're right, man.
Without legacy fights, you need legacy fights.
I mean, he's 36 years old. It's not over yet. He still has some punching power, but not with the PBC. Right. Who knows what they're gonna now that the PBC is with the zone, maybe they'll get him a fight with some of the other middleweights out there. But it's super middleweights, right? Because I think now he's at super middleweight. So, well, I don't know, man. I think Shiraz probably takes him out, man. If Charlo's too rusty, yeah, it could be bad news.
And here's the thing: I would have taken Charlo back in the days over Shiraz.
Mm-hmm.
I was taking him over Shiraz from what I've seen. Or he would have had a better shot of beating him. But today he's just a has-been, and he really didn't do anything throughout his career.
You know what, man? For a Wilder Charlo, even though he didn't have all the belts like his brother at 154, he looked like the more solid guy to me because, he should have lost against Kovarov. What happened in that one? Did they rob Kovarov or they did? No, I'm confusing that with the Chris Eubank Jr. fight.
That fight was close, but I'm with you. I thought Kovarov won that fight.
So did I. And that was a Kovarov that was in there at the last minute. He was supposed to fight an 8-rounder. Then they put him in the main event as a 12-rounder, I think. And he still managed to. I thought he pulled it off. Then the Montiel, or as a Haitian sensation, what was his name again? The guy that used to be, the young guy that used to be on the show here. What was his name? He talked like this, like he was always out of breath. Anyway.
Apology.
No, not apology, man. He was Haitian. He was of Haitian descent, and he was on the.
Oh,
I can't believe I'm forgetting his name. See, that's why
MMA. Yeah,
MMA champ. Yeah, MMA champ.
He
He called in once. He goes, "Jamar Charlo is done. He sucks. He lost to a drunk Mexican." I go, okay, why does it have to be a drunk? He had to add the word drunk. But it's true. He got beat up there by Montiel. I think he pulled it off, Charlo, but still he got beat. So, but in between, when he was looking sharp against Dennis Hogan, Derevchenko, who else? He beat somebody. Oh, he beat Brandon Adams. And I know there was a height differential, but look at what Brandon Adams is doing now. And Charlo beat him. And Brandon Adams in that fight, he was just looking to survive. So Jamal Charlo at one point, he looked to be more solid to me than Jermell. Jermell seemed to be too hittable, and I think his chin isn't all that great.
I think he's the more talented of the two. I mean, look at that beautiful knockout he did to Julian Williams, right?
Oh,
like that
yeah. Oh, I forgot about that. You're right.
These guys have potential. There's no, people think like, I don't know, criticism means that these dudes don't bring anything to the table. No,
exactly.
Guy's talented. He's just too afraid to challenge that, okay? His brother, who's a little bit less talented, at least he gave it a shot. And he did pretty well for himself. So he could have done the same thing.
But he came back. See, because maybe Jermall would have lost at some point if he would have stepped it up. But maybe he would have also learned from that loss. So he would have
we've seen him
become
lose,
better.
right? We've seen him lose to Harrison.
Yeah, exactly. We saw it with Jermel lose, but I'm talking about Jermal. Like, if he would have actually tested himself, maybe he loses. Okay, it's not the end of the world if he learns from that loss and he comes back, and he improves. But we never got to see any of that because he never fought. He never fought anybody.
I hold his twin brother outside of that Canelo payday. Outside of that, right? I hold his brother to a higher appreciation than Jamal, right? Because Jamal's undefeated. Your brother lost twice, but your brother fought dudes. He had fights with guys, and he had some legacy fights when he became undisputed at 154, and a fight where he fought a guy who I thought beat him the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And Castaño, in my opinion, I thought he won that fight the first. So.
You're right, man. You're right. I mean, look, like you said, that's why I'm giving Jermall props because he did have ability. I thought he was better than his brother, who ended up becoming undisputed at 154. But those guys, as good as they were, I still maintain, and I think history has proven us correct, that they were a full level. I mean, look at Jermell Charlo, the way he lost against Canelo. So what I'm saying is those guys were a level below Canelo, Golovkin, and maybe even Andre. The fact that that's the other thing, that's the other knock on the PBC. There were so many fights they could have made. Like one of the fights we never got to see was either of the Charlos against Jared Hurd before he got punch drunk. Or Andre against either of those three guys. We never saw those guys. Instead, what did they give us? Jermall would fight Trout, then Jermell would fight Trout, and they were just throwing Trout around. Lara too.
And Trout gave both of them problems,
Exactly.
He gave both of them problems. So.
And then you see what happened. They put in Julian Williams against Trout. I mean, excuse me, Julian Williams against Jared Hurd, and he pulls out the fight of his life. Williams did, pulling off an upset.
He clearly beat Jared Hurd. He clearly, schooled his ass.
Pretty much ended his career. Yeah. And by the way, I still maintain that's one of the most technically impressive, whatever you want to call it, boxing displays I've ever seen, because Julian Williams was boxing from the outside, mid-range, inside, very little clinching. There was some clinching.
He did whatever he wanted in that ring against Jared Hurd.
Exactly.
He literally did whatever the fuck he wanted.
That's one of those things that it's hard to pick a fighter who looks damn near that good and then never show it again in any other fight. Julian Williams. I mean, it was weird. But
you remember Julian Williams had ability because even though that was a beautiful knockout by the bigger Charlo, if I remember correctly, I thought Williams was kind of like getting the best of Charlo. He was outboxing him.
Yeah, in some rounds, yeah. I mean, he got dropped by a jab early. Then he came back and he was.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, he did get dropped. Was it the first round?
I think it was the first round. Yeah. Then he started giving Charlo the business. Then Charlo ran him into that right uppercut. And that's all she wrote. But yeah, Julian Williams. I think one of his problems was the chin, just too chinny, man. I mean, he got knocked out by big punches though, so I don't know how chinny. But then, anyway, that's a long story with Julian Williams. But so yeah, that's what we got there with the Charlos. It's what could have been in a lot of ways. Let me just start because we got stuck here with Jamal Charlo here talking about Caleb Plant. Let's just see what else he had to say.
A treat.
Yeah.
It'll bounce me back from like, hey, he's really serious about where he want to be in the sport. Yeah. This is the fourth quarter of my career. Yeah. Why not give Caleb Plant? Yeah. Why not get my lick back?
Yeah.
Oh, what? I respect him as a fighter.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go in a fight thinking, oh yeah, I'm mad. I'm trying to.
Why do Charlo's pants look like the cartons from an egg? They look like egg cartons. What the hell is he wearing?
Oh, he's from the future.
BDA is the style. You wouldn't know nothing about that, man. It's the style.
They look like astronaut pants. I don't know why he's wearing like these thick things that are protruding.
More strategic. I love to fight him. He need it. I'm still fighting. I'm still winning. I don't plan on stopping. Like this part of my career, I'm smarter now. Now it's starting to actually feel like.
Okay, why do the music? Yeah, they keep adding these transitions.
What is this? A lost episode of the Addams Family?
At that level where like
I'm bringing it back, baby.
I just noticed.
I'm still undefeated. I'm the best.
It wasn't a great performance. It was A+.
I just noticed he's got a necklace with his name on it, by the way. I don't know if you guys can see
that necklace has got your name all over it.
Narcissist. A little bit.
Oh yeah,
Y'all either definitely.
take
notice or get stepped on because we stepped on everything from this point on.
Andy Reid's gonna come out and drop that freestyle.
Oh.
The reason that the Kato Plant question kind of hit a little bit because
I'm fat.
I was wrong in that situation. I was drinking, hanging out. I'm in Vegas. Oh man, I'm balling out. I'm like, oh man, I had so much fun. My boy Earl Spence in my head is finna beat Crawford. It's finna go down. Me and Mike Tyson over here chilling. He went in the back. Mike Tyson got the room smoked out. I thought I was high or something. I was just like, I don't do none of this.
So they're laughing about the guy showing up drunk to an event, all high on weed, and starting fights with people. Yeah, that's hilarious, man.
And got smacked up. And got his face smacked in.
Yeah, what a good time.
That's crazy.
And then these guys held me up. They stripped me. It was just a good time.
I woke up naked in the pool.
They all got the same trajectory. That's the crazy part. Him and all these PBC guys got the same trajectory. They all got this sadness. I don't know. I'm being a sports psychologist, right? There's like a sadness in there, like this loneliness. You can tell everybody who was around these guys during the glory years, they're all gone. You can tell they're pretty much alone right now.
Nobody likes them no more.
Well, that's what always happens, right, Frank? That's what always happens when these guys are on top and they're getting paid. All of a sudden, the entourage they always stick to them. But then, as soon as they start getting inactive, they lose whatever. All of a sudden, the people flee them.
Not necessarily. I mean, there's good guys in boxing that even at the end, the people that have supported them are still there, and you could tell they're not lonely. That they're satisfied with their career. And they just want to go out a champion or a winner. But you could tell these guys would recognize the same. They know they missed something, and they're trying to catch it before it's gone. But there's nobody there anymore.
Yeah, but you know what?
That's why Earl's in Australia. That's why. Go ahead.
Yeah, Bucho made a similar point years when Garcia, Danny Garcia, that is, won his comeback fight. I think it'd been the first time he'd won a fight in 2 years, or that he'd fought in 2 years or something. He was crying afterwards, remember? He started crying in the rings, like, people don't know what I went through. And Bucho said, and I think Gonzalo said the same thing too, he's like, he's crying because he knows he's in his mid-30s now and it's over. Like, he's not gonna be a champion again, probably. He probably
nobody cares what you've been through either.
Okay, well, that's right. That's recognized has to be recognized with the. Not only does he stab, but he twists the knife on top of it. But it's true. It's like it's about what you bring to the table in the boxing world. And to Frank's point, I think what you're trying to say is that they're the last of the dinosaurs, and it's starting to hit them, right? Is that what you're sort of trying to get at?
Well, but that you could tell they're lonely. They're alone. That whatever cord they were part of PBC or whatever PBC was providing, as far as entourage and training, it's all gone. Like, they're on their own pretty much. They're kind of just finishing it out without all that support.
Right. Yeah, that's got to feel. That's got to be weird.
You just need a hug. That's it.
If you go to the gym at your height and it's crowded, everybody's there. There's people wanting autographs, and now they're going to gyms and nobody's there. It's they're alone. The trainer might show up. You could tell they understand their plight right now.
That's very.
It's just sad to me. I'm seeing a sadness. I'm being a little. What do you call that?
Punch is the easy part. The hard part is the emotions.
Well, it's like the song, we had fun. We had what was it fun? We had seasons in the sun. It's like everything ends at the sad.
It reminds me of is like when you. This is the best way I can paint it. Is when you see that actor they used to be in superstar blockbusters and then they're on Tubi movies. Right. And like, gosh, you just feel empty for them.
And by the way, I never felt that because these guys. I hate to be autistic here, but you make some good money on TV, man. In a lot of ways, it's a better gig than being on movies. But anyway, that's just not a little factoid right there. No, but you're right though. Your point still stands in terms of the glamour. In terms of the glamour and the glitz and the blitz, it's gone, man. Once you hit the.
That Asian guy in Die Hard who gets killed in like a million action films. You know what I mean?
The one
long hair, mustache.
He grabs a crossbar.
Yeah, that guy.
He's like the Asian Cheech Marin. That's what I call him. Imagine when that guy got old, you couldn't be a terrorist anymore.
That's true, man. That's true. That must have been hard. That must have been die.
The
He
last
must have
time he
died
got
hard.
shot.
You
Yeah,
think
he died hard.
Yeah.
He got
He
shot that
Mr.
last time
Miyagi
while
at
eating a
some point.
candy bar in a movie, and he cried. He cried. He's like, it's over.
Mr. Miyagi at some point.
No, he was.
No,
I think he was a
that's
stunt
that's
double.
fucking racist. That's racist.
He was a stunt double for Mr.
Everything.
Miyagi.
He was like the guy who gets killed.
Like
in
I'm
every
sure
movie.
you experienced it, BDA, right? Like now those 15-year-olds you used to beat up, they're kind of catching up to you. You're like, damn, what's going on?
They caught up to me when they turned 15 and a half, let me tell you. But yeah, no, but it's that's a very poignant point you made there.
There he is. There he is. Eating a candy bar.
Stealing a candy bar. He didn't even pay for it.
He was sneaky. He's looking around. Like they took over a tower, right, to steal all the money, but he's all like, "Oh shit!"
That's true. That's a great point. Yeah, they're committing a bunch of crimes that's gonna get them consecutive concurrent life sentences. And these guys, he's shifty eyed when he's stealing a yeah, exactly, for a chocolate bar. But
Indian store owner that takes him out.
Paducua says, Frank, the BDA psychiatrist for the PBC boxers. No, but that's a very poignant point he made. That it's the season's turning. It's turning into autumn, and now pretty soon into winter for these guys. It's starting to hit them. So maybe that's why Charlo is so adamant about. No, we gotta make it happen, bro. We gotta make it happen because if it doesn't happen now, it ain't ever happening. Let's just finish.
I just think for what? It's for nothing.
Well, now now you're veering into nihilism, which never really helps anybody.
I was just thinking that too. Like, damn, extremely bleak. I mean, Plant and Charlo. Yeah, I guess it's a good grudge match. But would it be like what was the last one we seen? Like Virgil Ortiz and Berto. Like that was sad. Remember that? Was it
Victor Ortiz?
Was it Ortiz and Berto? Oh yeah, Victor Ortiz and Berto, and they were like all fat, and it was just sad. I think the saddest thing I ever seen was Hopkins and Roy Jones, the third one, or was it the fourth one? Was like just
it was the rematch. Yeah, that was a disgusting fight, man. It's horrible.
And whatchamacallit? The best part of Ortiz versus Berto was Victor quitting, and then walking at the ring, and then a guy throwing a pizza box at his face. Remember that? I don't know if it was a pizza box, man. And then the way
he'll be in bare knuckle, I think, this month.
Really?
Be on bare knuckle. Yeah, Virgil Ortiz's bare knuckle match in LA this month, I think.
Victor Ortiz.
Yeah, why? Okay, Victor.
Yeah, that's the thing. Victor Ortiz had power, man.
Virgil couldn't get a fight.
Ortiz had power, so that's the last thing that goes. We'll see what happens in those. I
feel like he's made for that. That seems like that's going to be his best fit. This is a good fit for him.
Imagine,
that's his style, right? Rough guy, come in, high guard, slipping all over.
Dawana would have loved to have seen Burnok would have been Golovkin, because that guy was a street fighter on top of being a boxer. And then, did I ever? I don't think I ever showed you guys, right? The size of that guy's hands.
Yeah, it'd be
like
lunchbox. But his face looks like a target. Can you imagine his face in bare knuckle? Because he has like one of those big, what's that, Alfred E. Newman face? He would look ugly in bare knuckle.
The Mad TV, the Mad Magazine, yeah.
He really does. He really does.
What he had was strong hands. They weren't like huge. I shook his hand, and they were just fucking strong as hell. You could tell that those fists are made to go through a face.
Yeah, I'm glad you.
Jason Voorhees.
I'm glad you emphasize at the end. It's that fist goes through faces, not to something else. No, because I'm saying there's people out there, sick-minded individuals.
Yeah, there's other places that fist can go for.
I gotta be careful what I say.
Yeah, this got really bad. Yeah, you got some charges. Yeah, got some charges.
But you shook his hand and you realized, whoa, this guy. They also said that the guy had big forearms. That's what Steve Kim was.
That's probably where it comes from.
Everything's big.
What I remember when I saw him at the Miguel Cotto Daniel Gil fight, Barclay in Brooklyn, and what I remember seeing when I saw him, right, was this guy's always in shape. He was active at the time. Like, this guy's always in shape. He's not a tremendously big guy, but you could tell this is a solid boxing physique. And the strong hands when he shook my hand, and he did it like kind of like, you know, he's not trying to show me he's got strong hands.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a natural handshake, right? And I was like, yeah, that's the grip of a boxer that will break your face. You ever fought him in a street fight? Don't be surprised if he breaks your freaking whole cheekbone.
Did you make sure you didn't look down? Like, I want to see me look down like he dominated me.
But that's interesting because from that story, you weren't as clinical as Gonzalo was when he met Pacquiao. Remember, he had a whole thing about how when I shook his hand, I let my hand go slack because he wanted to see. I forget what he said. He had a whole thing, Gonzalo. He had a whole thing planned about how he was going to feel out Pacquiao's strength. And he said that Pacquiao's a short little dude, but he's solid, like especially in the leg department. Remember the size of that guy's calves. So it's almost something similar with Golovkin, except Golovkin.
Gonzalo felt his legs.
No.
Felt a little weird about that.
No. But except the difference is Golovkin was more top heavy than Pacquiao, who had the bigger legs. But yeah, that's why when Golovkin and Canelo finally fought, it was two icebergs going at it. Neither guy was really moving.
Big.
Well, I mean, they didn't want to use that word, but what else was going on?
Yeah, I mean, they're strong men. What they are is just really. I never met Canelo, but you know, you could just tell, right, by his physique. These are men that are like they're not super imposing in terms of their physique, but you can just tell by the shape they're in. And at least for Golovkin, I remember saying, this guy looks like he's ready. He's fucking dressed up in some slacks, button-up shirt, but he looks like he could fight right now. Like if he wanted to fight you right now, you know, you better be ready.
Exactly, man. Exactly. And yeah, he used to street fight, so that's because a lot of boxers they wouldn't transition well, I don't think, to bare knuckle because a lot of these guys develop bad punching technique because they're wearing gloves, they're protected. As soon as you start fighting bare knuckle, you better make sure you're turning those hands and hitting with the first two knuckles of the inside of the hand. Otherwise, you're gonna injure yourself. And I think that's what happens with a lot of boxers. They're too accustomed to punching with full power because they got protection on. But once they take those gloves off and the gauze and all that, could get dangerous. The other thing is, by the way, real quick, Rick Glacier said that Ortiz versus Boots is close to being made and that no one over at the Zone wants Kelly versus Ennis. That's, what's his name again? Can't believe I'm forgetting his name. Boots Ennis versus Josh Kelly. Also, Fundora, he was at a press conference. He said that he's not avoiding Ennis. He wants all the smoke. D-Block over on Twitter says that he confirmed with Benavidez' mother that David Benavidez was locked out of his social media account by his spiteful ex-wife or would-be wife. And this is what I wanted to bring up before we go, though. We had the UFC event, McGregor versus Holloway. It's interesting. I was looking at that and I was thinking, man, UFC's in a bad state if they got to be bringing back McGregor. Are they that desperate that they're pleading for McGregor and John Jones to come back? And then I thought, wait a minute, boxing, we got Pacquiao versus Mayweather, two has-beens. And so I said, yeah, I don't think boxing is in that much better. But the event that we had between McGregor and Holloway, for people that didn't watch it, McGregor showed up limping towards the octagon. Then he threw one kick, collapsed to the floor, started flailing with his legs like a kid throwing a tantrum. And then they finally stopped the fight after 30-something seconds of that embarrassment. What the hell was that? I mean, I guess Food's just resuming what happened in the fight. So,
you ever saw Stewart from Mad TV?
Oh, okay, that's what it was.
Yeah. That card had 14 fights on it, so that was a pretty big card.
Yeah,
there's a lot going on there.
I didn't catch any of that. I just saw the main event. That's what everyone wanted to see, and it sucked.
And there's a lot of knockouts, a lot of good fights on there. They also have another card coming up this weekend that's going to be pretty big. Usman versus Duplessis. That's going to be probably pretty good.
Usman versus Duplessis. Well, if you say so, man. Yeah. I mean, how many times has Fu come out here and said, "Oh, this fight, Johnny versus Conor Hendricks," and it's going to be, and then you see two guys. It's always a white guy with tattoos.
It might be a little dry humping, but I mean, there's more. There's a lot of that in boxing.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. Nevertheless,
I mean, have you ever said Shakur fight's going to be good?
No, never. Oh, no, maybe that's a beta fight. That was an intriguing one. But check this out, man. So Dan Rayfield had to come out on Twitter and
entertaining. Never.
Yeah, never. The beta fight was garbage.
Dan Refill came out and he had to throw some shots at MMA. He goes, name a major boxing match that ended in maybe 1 minute where the star gets injured having nothing to do with the opponent. Come on. So he really disliked this. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, but you see what he's saying. He's going, name a major boxing fight. So it has to be a major one. We've had... And then
the difference is that the boxing fights don't even happen.
Exactly. That's another
they don't even make the fight. They don't even get in the ring.
Yeah, and then guys
that was on the level. The guy's 5 years out the ring. That that would have been a good fight if the guy didn't mess up his knee.
Yeah, and by the way, the UFC's been on.
Sorry, go ahead, Big.
No, go ahead, Recognize. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, didn't what's his name? McGregor beat the shit out of him before.
Yeah, he beat him in the past. Yeah, when he was much younger at a lower weight.
He's capable of beating this guy. Is what I'm saying. He's capable. He just 5 years out of the. He probably look. In my opinion, I think he came in there not to win. He knew what was going to happen. He said, "You know what? I'm going to punch out. My leg fucked up or whatever." And call it a day.
Holloway said after the fight, the guy messed his leg up, and he was telling him, "Bro, just fight, because he wanted to end it as soon as he threw the kick." Holloway pointed at his leg. He's like, "Dude, he just hurt his leg." And then he said Connor was he was hitting him with those heel kicks on the ground, and he's like, "Bro, fight," because he didn't want the fight to end. So he tried, then he got up, and you can see that he was in pain, and then they stopped the fight right there.
Yeah, it was.
I think, you know what I think it was?
Was it?
I kind of feel like it was. They had like water vapor. Did you see that?
Yes.
Before it came out, there was a smoke machine in there, and that's all water. So he says I saw some footage of him warming up in the back, and he was doing that kick over and over again. Obviously, it doesn't have the same intensity to it.
But wait. Was that
when
steam?
Out,
was it steam or smoke?
It's it's a smoke machine, so it is a water vapor.
Okay.
And so that's all over the ring, because when he walked out there, you see it was like some weird ass Motley Crue video from the 80s or something. He's walking out there, and maybe that had something to do with it. Maybe it was slick, the canvas, and he didn't get proper gripping and messed his knee up.
Right. Well, the point is that Dan Refill was trying to score a gotcha moment there, but he had to add that disclaimer: name a major fight. And I'm thinking, because people were saying, well, what about Tyson Holyfield with the ear-biting incident, or Victor Ortiz versus Mayweather? And he's like, no, but that didn't end in a round. I'm thinking, well, what difference? So it was still a shit show. But boxing had plenty of its own shit shows.
After the fight, I said that even though this fight ended in like 3-4 seconds, it's better than Shakur Stevenson's entire career. Just that one kick, the athleticism of that. I'm like, wow, that was better than Shakur's whole career.
Food's adding a little bit of drama, a dramatic.
I'm not even kidding. I mean, look, it wasn't irritating, right? It was kind of interesting that the whole drama of it, right? That he got hurt and all this, and the big kick. It was a big kick. The guy gave it a try. There's a big story there. I mean, when does these guys have anything like that story-wise?
But you have to admit, it would have been that the best way to cap it off would have been with a riot or some sort of melee. I'm not asking for a full. I'm not asking for a full tear down the house thing, but just a couple of fights or something. You know what I mean?
Look, if I was Connor, what I would do is after the fight, I'd go, punch some random guy in the back of the head and then get beat up by his girlfriend.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, that's what I do.
What's going on here?
But Connor's got him beat, I think. I mean, he's got the, look at what he did.
But that's the Dan.
He got score beat on that one.
Dan Refill then saying that they're like, name another major fight. Okay, but plenty of people named shit shows from boxing, and so he's going at it with people. So I think he really wanted some engagement on Twitter. I don't know if his Substack is kind of.
I was going to respond.
Crawford was ragging on it too. Do you hear that? He's over there ragging on it, as he always does.
Hold on, Recognize. What were you going to say?
I was going to respond to that. I was going to say, name the one time you had a healthy meal.
I knew something was.
Last time you drank water.
Jesus.
I knew something was coming. I didn't know what. That's why I love so. Oh man, that was a good one.
Oh man,
someone had to say it.
I remember we were watching on Second Renaissance one time. That was a video that I think it was Straight G Tour gave us a video of this dude who figured out that if you folded the $10 bill or something, the American, you could actually see the two towers, something that looked like the two towers burning. And he said, he's telling the story. It's a big fat guy, by the way. And he says, so when I discovered that, I ran to the mailbox And then I pressed pause and I said, okay, that's how I know I'm lying, because I don't think this guy's not running anywhere. And I recognize he has to be all mean spirited and everything. He goes, the only place this guy's running to is Taco Bell. I go, okay, come on. Why does he have to be? First of all, why does he have to be Taco Bell? Like, he's eating.
I heard he brushed his teeth with pizza.
All right, come on. See, that's what I'm saying. It was mean spirited.
Okay, that's not me.
No. Yeah. Yeah. That was actually you guys restraining yourselves. I commend you for that.
It's a fact. It's a fact. It's a fact.
But yeah, so Dan Refill going at it with people, like I said, I think he just wanted to go at it with people here. And I mean, if I were a boxing writer, I wouldn't be so high and mighty about, oh, look at what goes on in MMA. Yeah, look at what goes on in boxing. Or like Fu said, what doesn't happen in boxing. That's which is in a lot of ways even worse.
All these fights that don't happen. I mean, think about it. You know, we never got a fucking Canelo, Big Bro, Charlo. We never got a Triple G Charlos. We never got Charlos, Andre.
The dudes fight when they're like 40. You know, this guy's still 37 years old. He's having this rematch, and you know, people will say this is overdue, but this one guy's like in his early 30s, and the other one's in his mid 30s, and that's the second fight, right? At another weight. Like a lot of times in boxing, these guys never fight each other ever again, if it ever happens.
Yeah.
And I mean that's the thing. Crawford Spence. I remember, I said this. I made the statement because I want to be very clear. I said, look, I don't want to be a negative Nancy, but this fight is not that exciting to me, or as exciting as it should be, because it's about 5 years too late. And then I said, that is the only time I'm going to say it, because I don't want to be raining on people's parades. And then it was even worse than I expected. How compromised Spence was. So that's the problem with boxing. Yeah. And these guys, they want to protect their fighters. So no, we'll circle the block later, blah, 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 blah. It's like, come on, man. Just make him now. There's no better time than now. Like that Van Halen song. Right now. Come on, make it right now.
I mean, boxing, a lot of times boxing, they like to punch up, really. They'll say, oh, no, it's punching down. It's like, no, it isn't.
Exactly.
Your star is Shakur Stevenson. Come on.
yeah, they're trying to make that guy into a star. And I know that UFC lately, they were trying to push some of these Chechen warriors, these wrestlers. Yeah. But I mean, boxing's been doing this for the last 20 years, so it's got a head start.
I think those guys are more exciting than Shakur, like fighters like Shakur. They bore me.
You think that Canelo's going to go out like that? Is he going to go outside like that? What do you think?
Maybe, man. You never know. Plenty of guys do go out
Canelo's just going to quit. He's going to go out like Tyson.
I mean,
I'd rather watch these fucking dudes that wrestle with each other than a Shakur boxing fight. I'm not interested.
Yeah, at least there's action, right?
Look, he only has himself to blame. I want to see him in a fight. I want to see him try to do something, try to make it happen, dig down deep, do something. You're boring.
Yeah. He turns himself into a human punching bag, and somehow that's a great performance. Did you see me on the ropes getting beat up? It's like, yeah, I saw it. Great performance, punching bag.
Well, with that,
but I hit him up
with the doink. With that being said,
every once in a while,
we got to go. We've been on for 2 minutes 41. 2 hours 2 minutes. 2 hours 41 minutes, guys. 2 hours. All right, 2 hours, not 2 minutes. I want to give a big shout out. Go ahead, for what?
I said I knew it.
Yeah. Time is going by in a different dimension now, man. I'm telling you. Some people are even saying that time is actually getting faster. Let me tell you, it got fast for me 15 years ago. Now, I'll say this. Shout out to Fu. That's the real Fu TV. Shout out for check out his channel. Shout out to Recognize. Shout out to Frank Bay. That's Boxing with Frank Bay. Shout out to him. He had a show the day before yesterday. Very interesting show.
Yeah.
Coach Eddie dropped by. He doesn't like Shakur Stevenson either. Shakur Stevenson having less and less fans now with his attitude. See, he needs an attitude adjustment. That's what he needs. But in order to do that, he needs to be self-aware, and I don't think he wants to. So that's what we get.
Most people are Stevenson fans and apologists. They're weirdos. But that's what I'll say for tonight. Thank you, guys.
There you go. Shout out to Recognize. Shout out to Boxing Chief, who was here earlier. Never Sobers was here for a while. Never Sobers doesn't come along anymore, man. What's going on?
I don't know, because he's in, intoxicated on all type of drugs. He's
wait a minute. No, that's Recognize saying that. He's gonna sue you now.
He's always sober now.
What are you gonna do me like that? Recognize? What are you gonna do? Okay, that's a horrible Never Sobers impression. But anyway, the point is, Shout out to Sobers for dropping by as well earlier, and all of you guys, thank you for joining us. Gotta have a big shout out to everybody in the chat. I'm talking about Joe. Joe's in the chat. Shout out to JDA. Toughen up. James Burrell.
Toughen up.
This is boxing. This isn't ballet. Shout out to JV.
Wait.
SJW.
That's a good impersonation.
I mean, I'm telling you, and I'm not even trying. Shout out to SJW, DJ Big Leg, Rafa, Jaime Raiden, Eparokua, Two Matador, Sergeant. Who else? King KO. Roger. Shout out to Roger. Mohammed Amhard, Bruce Lee. I gotta go back here a little bit. Was that? Yeah, no. More BDC. If I forgot anybody, it's because we gotta go, guys. I gotta go grab a bite to eat.